And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, as well, of course, the guys at Lakerholics.com, you know they're not happy right now. The Lakers have lost 3 in a row, and you know they're discussing it. And what better place to go to discuss it outside of the Lakers Fast Break than Lakerholics.com? Also, as well, John Costa will not be here tonight, but give him a shout out anyways on his YouTube channels, Lakers Corner and Clutch Talk. Zach, who stopped by for a cup of coffee. I know coffee's on the mind. You're talking to Sports Baby. Yeah, he has his Lakers live channels, Empire Jeff TV. Go ahead and check out his channels for the Lakers and Dodgers updates. And of course, also as well, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Yo, our good friend Stone Hansen. Don't forget about him. Also as well, of course, Alfred Esmond and Legend 350. All these great guys like and support. But please, in a time of need, as we all are right now, with the Lakers losing 3 in a row, help each other out by liking and subscribing to our channel today. Become part of the Lakers Fast Break community. You can even become a member. I put a poll up yesterday, which I'll share the thoughts on here in a second. Exclusive for our members. I put videos up first, some videos there for up first for our members, and also as well articles and more. Become a member today for just $2.99 a month. I don't go ahead and charge those exorbitant fees. Just try to give you a value for your money, always right here at the Lakers Fast Break. Lakers coming in today, limping in after finding out from JJ about an hour before the game that not only LeBron James has flown to Los Angeles for continued treatment on his groin, as we discussed yesterday, but Rui Hashimura and Jackson Hayes have also flown to Los Angeles. They're listed now as day-to-day going forward. Of course, that still means they're going to miss Denver, but again, Lakers would come in tonight against Milwaukee, a bit shorthanded. And from the get-go, it looked like the Lakers were shorthanded, especially on the defensive end, as they found no way to go ahead and solve the mystery that was the Milwaukee Bucks offense today, whether it was Damian Lillard knifing through the defense, the third quarter, Giannis picking them apart, or for the first 3 quarters, the Milwaukee Bucks lighting it up from 3 at a time. I think that once in the third quarter, I said over 53% from 3 at one time in the third quarter. As far as the game is concerned, man, they were just lighting it up in those first 3 quarters, and that's all they needed. They put in cruise control afterwards. And despite a 45-point, 11 rebound, 2 steal, 3 assist performance from Luka Doncic, and a 28 chipped in by Austin Reeves, that wasn't enough. They got no support and not very much help tonight, both on the offensive or defensive ends, as the Lakers, they got trounced and they got separated on in that third quarter with a 31-19 quarter. And it really was done from there as the Lakers lose 126-106. They are falling down the standings as we speak. We talked about once this time last week in second place. The Lakers right now, I believe, with the loss, will fall into a tie as far as the number of games back. They will be with Houston. They'll still be up on the Rockets in the loss column, but I think they'll both be 13 games back in the Western Conference. So yes, things are not happening well for the Lakers, and it goes from bad to worse because the Lakers go ahead and fly on a back-to-back in tomorrow at Denver. One of the tougher places to do the second game of back-to-back, so that doesn't help anything at all. Darren says 7 feet tall and can't do anything. Len, what a waste. Yeah, former lottery pick Alex Len. That's probably what he's only going to be known for. Darren, yeah, absolutely. He looked miserable tonight. Even when he finally did something well and he was about ready to go ahead and put the ball in as far as on a slam dunk, he got hacked by Lopez and they didn't call. So not only did the Lakers really not execute well at all on offense or defense. They also got burned by the refs on more than one occasion as well. Giannis throwing around our guards like they're rag dolls. Yeah, and it just wasn't a pretty game tonight. As again, the Lakers lose 126 to 106. Looking forward to getting some guys here on the show. I know that a lot of people are still asking for Ox 1947. We'll see if he comes on. But again, it's Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching, listening. Truly appreciate it. The Lakers, unfortunately, could not get their program right. And again, they're 40-24. They fall to fourth place, tied with the Houston Rockets as far as the number of games back. Like I said, 13 games back of OKC in the Western Conference, despite Luka Doncic's Lakers high as 45 points. No LeBron, no Rui, and no Jackson Hayes when they go to Denver tomorrow. So not exactly the way you want to go ahead and execute a road trip so far. Nick T, Connect was hot, but JJ froze him. Yeah, Nick, in regards to that, his defense didn't look, I mean, the defense was atrocious, but his defense wasn't so bad that it stood out in any way. I don't know why that he didn't play more extended minutes in the second half until this game was out of reach. Blue Magic says Luka can't do it alone. For the while in the first half, it seemed like Luka was seemingly doing it alone because I believe he got 28 points in the first half, 29. Yeah, he was really, it seemed like at times it was Luka on 5, which was not exactly the way you want to actually get things done. He needed help along the perimeter, and it just didn't happen. Kerry says, didn't we beat the Bucks both times without LeBron last year? You may be right on that, Kerry. I'd have to go back and check. Parade on Figueroa. Hey, long time no hear. Hopefully all is well with you, my friend Gerald. Is it time to critique JJ a bit more? He seemed to get outached at times during this game. He outcoached at times during this game. Parade, I just don't know how much you can do with the fact that they just don't have the pieces. They just, again, you saw how the limitations of our depth is. And when Goodwin and Gabe are not shooting like they did in Brooklyn, you were worried that if they couldn't take that with them to Milwaukee, something like this could happen. And that's what had, as far as putting on JJ, not making the right decisions. Yeah, there were some things I'd go ahead and say I'd put on JJ, but I don't think JJ could have put out any lineup out there tonight that didn't include LeBron, Rui, or Hayes and get a different outcome tonight, despite the refs and despite Luka and Austin having a good to great games. It still didn't matter because again they didn't get enough support on both ends of the ball. And what really hurt was the fact that they just were killing them from outside in that first half. Kerry says, why in the hell hasn't Cam been playing? He's just been out of rotation. He gives you nothing offensively, but I understand defensively he can still do something for this team. You tried Markieff Morris in that second half with seemingly like the world's longest shorts. Those were like all the way down to his knees. My goodness. But you know what? He was out there, yet Cam Reddish still can't get a sniff. That tells you exactly what's going to happen as far as his rest of his Lakers career going forward. Kari said, yeah, he's a solid defender with length. And the defenders that were on Giannis tonight, DFS and Vando, they either got switched off where Giannis in that third quarter was then dominating on guards, or Lillard was making both those guys, or especially DFS, look stupid at times, just basically just running right around them. And basically DFS and Vando didn't show up very well on the defensive side either. Nick T says, when you give up 102 points in the third quarters, you will most likely, yeah, absolutely, Nick. Yeah, absolutely. This is by far and away the worst defensive performance of this calendar year, 2025. As far as for the season, remember the Lakers were at one time in the bottom 5 in the league at times during that first part of the season. So they had their share of high scoring, games that they gave up to the opponent. But yeah, this was absolutely an issue tonight. I mean, if you heard me on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break, you heard me say that several times in that first half, they were even the way that the Bucks were just executing simple plays, simplistic plays as far as simple screen and rolls, simple passes inside, just absolutely just way they were executing and just not getting any resistance at all from the Lakers was absolutely abysmal. And it was disappointing. Reeves needed to go. DK is better. I don't know how you could say that when Reeves scores 28 tonight, Lloyd. I just don't understand how you even just you're on this thing, Lloyd, and with all due respect, I think you're just, it just doesn't make sense what you're saying. Uh, when you say that on a day where he scores 28 points, it just defensively, DK would not have done any better. And we know, because you and I both know, cannot justify Dalton Connect's defense. But tonight, it did matter. Defensively, there was no defensive relief to be found anywhere. So you're right. DK should have played more minutes, but not at the expense of Reeves. Gabe was absolutely miserable tonight shooting on the floor because, yeah, he's a streaky guy, streaky player, and obviously, the streak ended with this game right here as the Lakers again lose 126-106. They're 40-24 now, tied for fourth place in the Western Conference, free falling fast. Gabe went tonight 26 minutes, 3 of 10 shooting. Jordan Goodwin 26 minutes. He was 0 points. I mean, they were such a big part of what kept them in the game in Brooklyn, and tonight they just didn't have it tonight. Koloko was nothing for us tonight. I understand you guys are asking about Jameson. I know Jameson was held out of tonight's game because of the number of games he can play as a two-way player. But I don't think Jameson would have done really much to help the outcome of this game. Luka Doncic again doing it all. But then again, this team was so isocentric tonight. If it wasn't Luka, it was Austin taking the ball. But I don't know how you can just blame it on Austin, say Austin's better than DK on a night where he shoots 10 of 17, 4 of 7 from 3, gets you 28 and 8. It just doesn't make any sense, Lloyd. You're not coming off very sensible when you say things like that. Parade on Figueroa, thanks for the insights, Gerald. Do you think the Lakers need a third star in the offseason or just a solid center? They need... If it could be both in one player, Parade, I would love that. But obviously, that's probably not going to be the case with the lack of assets that they have or the limited number of assets they have. They do need to improve their depth because we saw tonight when you guys don't give Luka and IR the kind of support you need, you're going to have to go ahead and pay the price. So we need better support players to go ahead and play better around guys like Luka and also LeBron as well. But yeah, it would help that they have somebody out there on the perimeter that could go ahead and defend a lot better than what we saw tonight from DFS and Vando, because those guys didn't stop anyone tonight. And when they weren't stopping anyone, they were being easily screened off to let the guards, much smaller guards, face off against Giannis. So yeah, it was garbage time. Well, a lot of garbage time. Juan, when you say that 28 and 8, a lot of that was still when the Lakers were still had tried to get back into this game. So I don't know if I agree with you on garbage time. It was, I mean, obviously they never were able to overcome getting back into single digits once the outcome was made in third quarter, but they were still putting out an effort when Austin was getting the majority of those points in the third quarter and early in the fourth. Kari said, well, thank you. Absolutely. I heard rumors, Kari, that a new or an updated remake version, not a remake, but an updated revision of Oblivion will be out sometime here in the not too distant future, as reported by IGN. So that's the case. If you guys ever go into the world of Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, you might get your chance now again. So we'll see. I know I will be playing a remake if Xbox does bring it out. The bench didn't help us score. No, it didn't tonight, Blue. But again, I'm not going to argue with people who wanted more minutes for Connect because his defense would not have been an issue tonight. I don't see why JJ didn't put him in sooner in that third quarter to provide any kind of relief. Lloyd says his points are misleading. Austin did the same thing versus Denver in the Western Conference Finals. He scores in garbage time. Austin didn't play great. Well, you're talking about the Western Conference Finals. I could talk about last playoffs where he played really well on the defensive end and held Murray to essentially his worst shooting performance in the playoffs ever, or one of them, anyways. So, but he was very ineffective on offense. So I get that, but you're going to have to make a decision on him, anyways. Coming up, in about a season, coming up in the off season of 2026, because he's going to be a free agent, or you're going to have to commit to him to see if that's the case, or do you want to trade him for other assets? Which, again, I wouldn't be opposed to. If you're going to do that to get better or assets that fit better around Luka and LeBron, that's fine. But don't say DK is better than Austin, because right now DK, as much as, again, I have an affinity for him and I see the talent in him, and I've really been a big proponent of him, I still realize that he's still got a lot of things to work on. He is not better at this stage than Austin and Lloyd. I know that you want to see that, but you're looking at with just tunnel vision on that right now. The better player right now is Austin, but that doesn't excuse the fact with JJ tonight, because I know Parade on Figueroa is asking what's going on with JJ. JJ did get out coached, but also he just didn't have the players to go ahead and match up well with the size of, as you saw with Lopez and Giannis Antetokounmpo. But yeah, it's just a disappointing performance for the Lakers indeed, as the Lakers do lose 126 to 106. I guess Joe's not coming on or whatnot. Maybe he's just sad or scared or whatnot. I don't know. I know John said he couldn't make it as well, but I'm here for you. It is, of course, Gerald Glassford coming up right here at the Lakers Fast Break. Of course, truly cannot thank you enough for being here. Kyrie says DK is not as good as AR. Well, I mean, that's for you guys' opinion on that. I'm just going to say at this stage, right now, DK is not better than AR. Could he be better than AR? The kid's just a rookie. He's an older rookie, but he's still just a rookie. So, like AR, who is also an older rookie, he still has time to develop his game. So, in 2-3 years, we may see Lloyd Avenue be right about that, but not right yet. As of yet, he's not as of yet. I can't give that. They're both not great on defensive end. I mean, but also the way that AR can create a little bit more of the offense, and as a secondary playmaker, is just substantially better than what DK can do right now. That doesn't mean that DK can't develop his game there, or just be so lethal from the 3-point area that he'll just have to be, again, he could just become one of the best sharpshooters. You can see it. He has the touch, but can't he put it all together? That's the thing. I'm hoping he can. I'm hoping he can play at least passable enough defense for him to go ahead and be able to really stay out there on the floor, Lloyd, and prove everybody you're right. I want to be able to say, Lloyd, you're the man, you're the right. You were called it on DK. I really want to say that for you, because that kid, I really have high hopes for. Again, I saw him live in Summer League. I really liked what I saw. I just hope that defense comes around a little bit, and his shot, you can see the touch. I just don't know why it's not connecting at a higher rate. But when JJ only puts them out there in a limited number of actual substantial minutes, I'm not talking about garbage time, but substantial minutes, it's just kind of disappointing to allow this kid to grow. The Lakers are down by they got down by 15 rather easily in that third quarter. You should have put him in a lot sooner to go ahead and could have maybe stopped the bleeding for you, and you never know what would have happened. Lloyd Avenue, he is, unlike Austin, DK can shoot at a high level, and this is only his first season. Well, let's take a look at the numbers, Lloyd. Let's see what their percentages are. I get you as far as the touch. His touch does look better, but let's see what the numbers say right now. So for Austin Reeves right now, And once again, the Lakers do lose 126 to 120. He is at a flat 36%. Austin Reeves is from 3-point area and a 36.3% overall in his career. Let's see what Dalton Connect is right now in his rookie season. 4 of 7 tonight, 2 of 4 from 3. So 50% there. For Dalton, he is at just a tick better, 36.3. So remember, he was earlier in the year in the 40% range. Then he went into that super slump. Right now it's come up a little bit, but right now they're essentially even. Right now, you could say it's pretty much essentially even right now or at 3-point percentage. So, but I think again, it comes down to the Lakers just didn't have enough defensively to stop Giannis in that third quarter as the Lakers got outscored 31-19. That was the decisive factor because Luka got them close, got them, I think, believe within 4, if I remember correctly. And the Lakers looked like they were getting back into this game. But unfortunately, again, Milwaukee surged in that third quarter, really found some mismatches that they liked. The Lakers, again, providing only very passive defense overall. And there you go. Nick T, my God, they let Giannis carry the ball. Yeah, that he does that all the time. And the offensive fouls, too. There, you could count, I count at least 3 offensive fouls for Giannis that was not called, where he just either pushed off on our guys. He threw our guys, whether it was a DFS or whether it was Gabe Vincent or whether it was Goodwin. He threw them away with his off arm and they didn't call anything. Kari says DK could be a better defender, shooter, and rim rocker, but AR has the better handle and savvy finishing and passing. Yes, and Kari, that's something he has to work on with Dalton Connect. He does have size and athleticism, but he needs more force, more grit. I talked about that game in Philadelphia where he had the ball and he is just so weak that he had the ball ripped out from his hands very easily. And a Philadelphia player put it back in. It was just so disappointing to see, but that's he plays so timidly and plays so soft on both ends of the floor. If he played with more force and more strength, I think it would really help accentuate this game and make Lloyd Avenue more of a savant if that's the case. JSJ, we were talking about you at various times tonight about Alex Len. Current Dwight is better than Alex Len. You know what? For the first time, I'm going to probably say for the Dwight Howard comments, that may be right out there. But again, maybe you and I, JSJ, could be out there better than Alex Len because it's pretty nasty right now. Morris out there, he looks like he's done. He's washed. He's just counting the days. Len, it's just look like he's counting the days as well. It's bad, guys. It's bad when we see the guys like that. And then Koloko just looks like he just does not, deer and caught in the headlights all the time today, and it was just disappointing to see. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I know somebody in the comments that watched the show after it was aired, commented saying, I'm so depressing, whatnot. But I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to tell you differently. I know those other shows try to find some flowers and stuff to get you guys all excited. So when the Lakers start losing 3 in a row, they can't figure out what went wrong. I'm going to tell you it. I'm going to tell you if they look bad, they look bad. If they're playing good and they're playing well, I'm going to tell you why. And right now, this team with the injuries, it just takes those injuries. You guys wanted to know what would be the cracks in the Lakers system right now because the team is not fully, accentuated around LeBron and Luka even before the injury started. And it just takes those key injuries to the front line. And there you go. But Kari says, I still think we should have brought it. He would not have been eligible for the Hall of Fame if that's the case, Kari. I believe he is currently being considered for the Hall of Fame, or if he did get in, I'm not aware of it, but I'm sure he's going to get in. So there you go. Blue appreciate it. Again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I know somebody again just went off of me. Oh, that guy's depressing, whatnot. Well, I'm sorry. It's just it is what it is. I'm not going to super rant because when you're shorthanded like this, I know that people were asking for a Joe rant or a rant of some kind to make you guys feel better. But tonight, it's just you're seeing it how overwhelming it could be in the NBA when you have a healthy team against a not so healthy team in the NBA. And what's worse is that the Lakers are heading into Denver, and Denver, not only are they looking for revenge from the fact that they got whacked upside the head by Minnesota at home, I believe. Was that at home? I will check to see if that was home, but I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. So that was which was last night. So that was at home. So not only did they get whacked in the head at home by Minnesota, oh, by the way, I'm sure Malone's going to put in their head what happened to them 2 weeks ago when Luka stopped by and got that first Luka game that's out there. So they're not going to be very friendly tomorrow, by the way, with a shorthanded team. So we may have to wait until they get back home, where they're one of the best home teams in the Western Conference. In fact, only OKC has a better home record in the Western Conference before we finally start seeing some wins. But who knows? By the time the Lakers get back, we could see Jackson Hayes return to the lineup and Rui return to the lineup as early as the Phoenix game, maybe, because they've been listed on a day-to-day basis now, is what we were told before the game. And LeBron, maybe we'll see LeBron maybe by the time they meet again against, I'm guessing by the time they see Milwaukee again, we could be seeing that. So Rodell says, I don't know, guys. I watched Kobe at 26 and he was a must-see TV. I don't care who was on the court with him. Tonight was unwatchable, even with Luka going for 40 plus. Well, that's strictly your opinion, Rodell. I thought, again, Luka, despite the fact that the Lakers were consistently down tonight, still giving out an effort on a game where he, again, just absolutely looking good. But he plays a different type of game, Rodell, than what Kobe. I don't think that's a fair comparison at all because Kobe has more of a athletic or had more of an athletic type of game than Luka. Luka is more cerebral and has a more careful approach. So I think you're talking about apples and oranges there, Rodell. So I hate to disagree with you for the 578th time, but I'm going to have to do so. So I think that's unfair to Luka that you're comparing his style of play to Kobe because it's two different styles of play and how you appreciate him playing the game of basketball. 45 points from Luka. If you can't appreciate the fact that he did that, at least for the Lakers, despite the fact that they lost by 20, it's disappointing that you would say that, Odell. Carrie says we better not slip back into the play-in again. I would be sick. We need Kings to beat Warriors tonight. Kari, yes, we do. We definitely do. And we'll see what happens there. But again, the Lakers tonight, it is a loss for them, 126 to 106. The Lakers have now fallen into fourth place in the Western Conference. They were tied with the Houston Rockets, 13 games back behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. But Kari, your wish may not get answered because the Warriors now lead by 12 at the end of the first quarter. Not to make it. So somebody's going to put on there in the comments, oh, you're just bringing us bad news. You're just bringing us bad news. Well, again, there's no flowers when you lose 3 in a row and you just get your butt kicked in Milwaukee. It's not sugarcoat it. And you don't play anything resembling decent defense on that side of the floor. The only thing I can tell you is, again, the only hope that you have is that the Lakers can salvage something tomorrow in Denver. If they do go ahead and win Denver, that's a game they get back on Denver in the Western Conference. And then possibly by the time Phoenix game at home, we could get some guys back. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But again, just always great to have you here, guys. Let me know in the chat what you're talking about here, right here at the Lakers Fast Break. Blue, thank you so much for joining us. Truly appreciate it. Again, like and subscribe. I'm here throughout wins and losses, As the great Doobie would say, I am here in wins and losses. Uh, Darvin Ham is Darvin Ham. He hated Darvin Ham in wins and losses, and yet Darvin Ham is laughing with his hands in his pockets tonight as the Lakers unfortunately lose 126 to 120. 126 to 106. Adam, I said Len's got to go though. I would agree with you, but again, I think that he is going to stay on the roster simply because it would be a bad look for Len, who bypassed Indiana to go to the Lakers, who again, I would not have chosen him. I was still leaning towards Moses Brown, if you remember on this show, about giving him an opportunity. Although when it came to Moses Brown, who did well in this 10-day stint in Dallas, the thing was he had already played for the Lakers in summer league, and I guess they didn't like what they saw, so they didn't give him a chance there. But yeah, I think it's all about agents in that case, Adam, and you don't want to go ahead and sour an agency for a back end of the roster player. Maybe that agent has a top of the line player as a free agent, or a player that maybe someone that the Lakers could be zoning in on in the summer or now or in the future, that as petty and silly as that sounds, would advise his client to go somewhere else after what they did to Alex Len. So, I don't blame you. I don't blame you guys for being absolutely upset with Alex Len. He looks like a stiff. He's played like a stiff. Absolutely. But the Lakers, if they're not going to play Cam Reddish, I know, and as we talked earlier in the show in the chat, and also as well, if we're not going to play Markieff Morris until it really gets dire like this, those two at this point will probably be the most likely moved out for Jameson and or also as well, of course, Goodwin as well. So Rodell, because Carey, even with the lottery team, Kobe was still must-see TV. Most of the so-called stars just can't do that. The NBA might be in big trouble. Well, you say that, Rodell. They just got the Lakers and the Celtics just got the biggest rating for a regular season game that's not Christmas in 5 years. So I don't know. I mean, it may not be dead yet. They may not be in trouble yet, as you described. But again, you may be right as well. So we'll have to wait and see. But the numbers don't dictate that as of yet. But when LeBron retires, you may have a point. We'll see. When LeBron, Curry, when those stars with the name value, when they retire, I'm interested to see if the transition to players like Luka, like Wemby, like even Anthony Edwards, et cetera, if those guys are going to be must-see watches like we're talking about with Curry and LeBron, etc. So we'll see. Again, I'm not counting on it, to be honest with you, but I see the value in them, but I'm not sure if everybody else will. So we'll definitely see. But Jokic doesn't want the bright lights now. Jokic is happy where he's at. I think he's always going to be a lifer in Denver. But we always thought that with Luka as well. And look what happened. Kari says, Lloyd, don't forget AR stole us a win against Indiana with a 5. If Lloyd wants to favor Dalton Connect, Kari, fine. But you know what? You can't justify it. You cannot give us a reason why Dalton Connect, as of now, is a better player than Austin Reeves. You just cannot do it at this point. He is a rookie. He's been inconsistent. And he is still, at this point, still not trusted enough by JJ Redick to get an abundance of minutes, even when he starts to shoot well from the outside. So JY says, well, 6 losses in a row put the Lakers in the play-in tournament. So let's find that out. Right now, the Lakers, let's go in the loss column here. The Lakers have 24 losses. They have the same number of losses as Grizzlies and Nuggets. So let's look at the bright side, guys, for just a second here. If the Lakers do win their next 2 games, essentially, and maybe Grizzlies and the Nuggets lose, well, the Nuggets would lose, and let's say the Grizzlies lose, they would be back in second place in the Western Conference. So let's keep that in perspective. But on the other side of the coin, if the Lakers continue to lose, let's say they lose, because this is right now they're in the midst of their first of 3 straight back-to-backs. If they lose, let's say this game coming up in Denver, and then they lose the next 4 after that, which I don't think they will. I think they'll probably go ahead and they play much better at home, so I don't think they will. But let's just say they do. Let's just say they do. That would put them right around 29 losses, I believe. And so that would put them, right now, or at that point in time, it would probably put them close to 6th or 7th place in the Western Conference, considering all things right now. Because Warriors and Timberwolves are at 28 and 29 losses. So it would put them in that ballpark, JY, to give you it would put them in that 6th, 7th slot right there. So yeah, that's your answer. Luka Doncic after the game has said we'll see, and he doesn't know yet. If Whit asked if he's playing tomorrow, so he is questionable again for tomorrow. So that's what we were told. So amazing. That will piss off Joe more than anything else. So after a night he goes for 45, he would be sat out tomorrow against Denver if that's the case. That would really I think ruffle his feathers a lot. But we'll have to wait and see. Eric says fit to see the best when they are losing at the wrong time. Yeah, Eric, they are, but they are, like I said, if they can salvage a win in Denver, they are going home where they're second place in the West. They're the second best home record in the Western Conference. That is worth something there. Something that the Lakers will have to figure out. Golden State, with all their success they've had recently, they're still terrible in their division. They're 2-10 against their division. So Golden State, if they don't get things right within their division, they could see them start to slide a little bit. But right now, tonight, they're having their way with the Sacramento Kings. Right now, the update on that game is 39-27. Also, in tonight's games, Washington defeated Detroit. Kind of a surprising thing there at home for Detroit, 129-125. Chicago beat Brooklyn, 116-110. Brooklyn heading back to the way it was supposed to be playing against the Lakers. And then Orlando defeated New Orleans, 113-93, in a relatively light schedule tonight. So, yeah, absolutely disappointing game for the Lakers as they lose 126-106. But again, I think if they keep on losing, let's say, throughout the next back-to-backs as well, that would put them right in the 6th, 7th range. And that would be, that would put them right in the mix there, the play-in mix. So I'm hoping that's not going to be the case. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Rodell, I am actually going to agree with you. That Brooklyn loss stings. I think that JJ and the team that decided to sit out DFS, even though DFS did terrible today, I'm sure DFS would have given you enough competency to get you that difference in the 2 points that they lost by in Brooklyn, and I think that's a decision. That's a decision that should be thought. Why did they do that? Because DFS probably could have been the difference for that 2 points if that's the case. But Nick T says, don't be in the play-in. Yeah, the Lakers playing for the play-in. You've seen how that scenario has worked. It only goes so far for the Lakers. JJ Jadaway. Welcome, JJ Jadaway. Please like and subscribe. Sorry, Joe. Should rest Luka, or you called him Luke, but I know who you're talking about. Luka tomorrow. You know what? Again, Joe, wish he was here now to go ahead and talk about it, but unfortunately he's not here to go ahead and defend himself on that. So, but yeah, he was very adamant when even that subject was approached on playback that he was not very happy with. Let's put it that way. Mission 24 says back-to-back should be exiled from the NBA. It's so stupid from a business standpoint. Well, Mission 24, when the Lakers had to go ahead and move the game from this one was a planned back-to-back, by the way. The Milwaukee Denver one. The ones that weren't planned are the next 2 back-to-backs, and that was because the Denver game, not Denver game, excuse me, The one game that had to be moved, obviously, was the San Antonio game. That game was moved because of the Los Angeles fires that happened. And also, as well, the second back-to-back that at home, which is Denver and then Milwaukee. Milwaukee, I believe, had to be moved as well from the 18th to 20th. But I think that still would have been the way the schedule works out, a back-to-back with Milwaukee and Denver. Now it's just Denver and Milwaukee. So it had to be flipped, I think. Let me check that out right now. But yeah, it's still not going to be fun, guys. It's still not going to be fun as the Lakers start this first of three straight back-to-backs with a loss, 126 to 106. Lakers now fall into fourth place in the Western Conference. Gerald Glassford, great to have you here. Truly appreciate you trying to, build the community and help each other out in a time of need like this. Lakers fast break, truly appreciate it. Yeah, the Milwaukee game, because the San Antonio game was moved to the 17th, the original game that was going to be on the 18th was Milwaukee. That still would have been a back-to-back. They just flipped it from Milwaukee, Denver, again, like they do now, to Denver and Milwaukee. So that still would have been a back-to-back as well. So the Lakers just don't get any relief at all. But you got to play the schedule as is. The only thing I would suggest is maybe extending the season out even more, or maybe like a week, 10 days. Would that be enough to get rid of the back-to-backs? I mean, it's out there. I mean, you could only go ahead and say that that's going to be the case. I don't think we would beat Phoenix at home at this rate, maybe even Spurs too. Kari, come on, let's think positive here. The Lakers, again, are the second best home team in the Western Conference. I'm going to give them some credit that they can beat Phoenix and Spurs. Even if Rui and Jackson and LeBron aren't there, I still think they can get the job done against Phoenix and the Spurs, at least. I know Phoenix has the big three, but you see the way that they've been playing basketball, they're still losing and still under 500 and still out of the play and mix right there. Mission 24 says, I'm distracting myself with Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Very good game. I played that. Very good game. And so I cannot say I disagree with you on that. I'm currently going through right now Avowed. I'm getting 20 hours in on that one. Riddell says the problem is that they won't build any chemistry playing together going into the playoffs. And you're right, Rodell. That's 2 out of 3. You're right. Okay, they will build any chemistry going in the playoffs. It's really hard to get that back up, just as they were starting to work so well and generate so much together during that 8-game winning streak. You're heading into a playoff series where they're going to have to find their mojo and get everything together in the first round of the playoffs, and that's really hard to do. That's asking a lot. But health is the biggest thing right now for the Lakers, and to get them all ready, yeah, it's going to be something. But Rodell says the problem is they won't build any chemistry playing together going into playoffs. It probably puts a nail in the coffin about getting to the finals. OKC and Denver will have a lot more history. OKC's playing well. Jalen Williams is out right now, but SGA is picking up the slack. The SGA getting hurt would be a killer, Rodell. SGA getting hurt, OKC cannot overcome that. Just like Denver, if Jokic gets hurt, cannot overcome that. Murray, they could still get by and still do some things, but if Jokic gets hurt, if that elbow that has been bothering him keeps on hurting a little bit more and more and more to the point where he can't play, then that's going to be an issue for Denver. We'll see. Again, we'll see how they might actually rest him tomorrow. If Luka doesn't play tomorrow, I bet you they will rest Jokic as far as that's concerned. Car is on. She's talking about what is the soonest you think LeBron comes back. My guess is the San Antonio game, to be quite honest with you, Kari. That would probably be the first sign that I would start to think that you're going to hear something about him returning. What about Rui? Hayes. Well, they've been listed as a day-to-day. Was their official statement at day-to-day going forward, even though they're not going to be in Denver. So that's going to be day-to-day today. Uh, technically they're still out. But I'm going to say at this point in time, you're going to get Hayes probably back by Phoenix. I think because it's a knee bruise. It's a bruised knee. It's a contusion. How seriously long is that going to stay be a problem? Although it has been discussed. Some guys said, on the chat that it was, those kind of things do stay with you a little while. But I think Hayes will be back by Phoenix. Rui, I say him and LeBron come back by San Antonio. That's my guess. Again, I've not heard anything substantial other than the day-to-day and that they've flown home to Los Angeles. But if they've been now listed as a day-to-day, I have a feeling the farther the Lakers fall down the standings, the sooner that those guys will come back up. LeBron, I think they're going to play it like by ear with LeBron simply because of the fact that they don't want to happen what happened in 2018. Because if that happens in 2025, that's all she wrote for the Lakers season. Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much again for watching this. We truly appreciate it. I'm here for you, guys, and I truly cannot thank you enough for stopping by. I know that everybody wants us to run a rant and do a rant, and Joe, I guess, maybe he's busy doing some Sin Blade stuff after the game, but again, appreciate any time he's here, or John, who couldn't be here tonight, but John said he'll be here tomorrow night. Win or lose, John Costa from Clutch Talk and Lakers Corner said he will be on tomorrow night. Xbox says, "Nice work, brother. They're underrated games." Absolutely. So yeah, Xbox again. For me, Games Pass is the best value in video games. It's just point blank. So we'll have to see what's going to go on at Xbox. Says, "I'm playing Spec Ops: The Line from Xbox." Yes, it does still hold up. Xbox, good choice as well. Kari says, "Is it wrong for me to hope SGA and Jokic to go down?" No, not at all, Kari. Don't nothing permanent. How about that? Maybe like the old sprained ankle, or maybe like a severely pulled hamstring, where they'll be fine at the beginning of next season. Maybe you could hope for that. Yes. Jay says, "Kari, it's wrong to wish injuries on some." Yeah, that's true, Jay. You're right. Guilt trip. Yes. Where's my keys? You just took us on a guilt trip, Jay, and we're driving now on that guilt trip, and you got us good, Jay. You're right. It is wrong to wish injuries on other people, even on the Celtics or the Clippers or anything like that. But yeah, it is wrong to wish injuries. So you have successfully taken us on a guilt trip, indeed. BTS says the obvious. We need LeBron back. Yes, we do. We do need our entire front line back, because that was at one time our starting front line, and now it's not. Dylan says it's concerning now, Gerald. We might be in a play-in tournament, especially the Warriors keep winning. Yeah, because it looks like right now they're going to be winning tonight against San Antonio because they're up by 23. Yeah, that game is already over. They're playing with a lot of confidence. Who knew that all it took was a 35-year-old malcontent from Miami, who doesn't usually play well in the regular season, to come and start playing well in the regular season. But yeah, they're looking pretty good right now at Golden State. But yes, it's concerning that the Lakers' free fall continues. If the free fall continues at home, that is a concern. On the road, the Lakers are still under 500, so they're not a good road team. But at home, if they lose continually at home, that's a problem. That is concerning. Rodell says, "Kari, you can wish bad things on the Celtics, though." You guys are cracking me up tonight. But it is, of course, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching this. We truly appreciate it. Do want to mention our poll results from our members tonight, and the other night I posted. The question was, how would the Lakers do on the final 2 games of the road trip? Would they take 1, 2, or none at all? And actually, the voting was they're going to go ahead and win tonight. The majority was going to go ahead and win tonight in Milwaukee, so that already has proven to be false. And then we had votes that were for the Lakers winning out both games, and that hasn't happened either. So I'm hoping that the Denver game will be a little bit more successful tomorrow, but we will wait and see. Again, we don't know the status of Luka. That will piss off Joe. If you want to hear a rant from Joe, if that's if they'll bench Luka tomorrow, we'll see. But yeah, I have a feeling they're going to be benching him at some point in these back to backs. So yeah, we'll see how that works out for the Lakers without LeBron and then possibly without Luka. You're just giving these games away, which is going to be hard to do to make up, or hard to make up with less than a month left in the regular season. I see on Twitter that Cam Reddish is trending. Oh man, Twitter is just brutal right now on Cam Reddish. But yeah, Cam is probably going to be let go at some point in time in the not too distant future. My guess is either in the last week or the final day of the season to bring on Goodwin, and then also probably Morris for Jameson. Dylan says, do you think we can beat the Warriors in the playoffs with a playoff Jimmy? I think if we've got a fully healthy team, Dylan, I think we can. I think we play the Golden State Warriors really well. I think we defend against Stephen Curry really well, and playoff Jimmy, on a night where both Vando and DFS got exposed on the wing, I'm not as 100% confident as it once was. But the Lakers, I think, have enough bodies to throw at Jimmy to slow him down. And Jimmy hasn't been playoff Jimmy in the past couple seasons. Jimmy hasn't been playoff Jimmy. He might have been playoff. He was playoff Jimmy heading into the finals against Denver, and I think that's the last time we really saw playoff Jimmy. But you guys correct me if I'm wrong. But I don't remember a truly playoff Jimmy performance since their finals appearance against Denver. Carrie says Celtics would have to have the whole starting lineup get injured, maybe it all at once to massive. Oh, that would be classic. That would be classic. Yeah, we could beat the Warriors. We have Steph's number. I just think again, if the Lakers can, Lakers have effectively worked out a good scheme against guarding Stephen Curry, and then Jimmy Butler. It would be a matter of how many guys we could throw at them. You could put Braun on Jimmy at times, and then of course DFS. How would you go ahead and defend Curry? Would you throw Vanderbilt on Curry to throw some height against him? Would you throw DFS on Butler to try and slow him down? Yeah, that's the question I would ask. Again, I don't want to take tonight's performance from both because both had a subpar defensive performance tonight. But the thing is also as well, the defense is so predicated on switching. Would the Warriors be able to hunt out the matchups in the switches and get the Lakers out? Because if they're getting Reeves or Connect or at times Gabe or even Goodwin, that seems to be something the Lakers are not exactly ready to handle at times as well. Rodell says the Celtics tried to kill Kareem a few times back in the day. Yes, they did. They check his wallet because I think they mugged him several times, Rodell. I remember quite vividly. Yes, he would have to wear a mask during timeouts because of the heat. You're right. That old Boston guard, man, that was a dump and a half. What are the old stories that they're in, that when the road team in the locker room, they would intentionally keep the water cold and no air in the locker room, specifically on the road teams. Yeah, it is what it is. Boston fans will call it charm. I will call it something else, and I'll just leave it at that. Nick T says, since the bubble, I think he played well leading up into the finals for Miami. Nick, I would sort of disagree. I know he played at a elite level in the bubble, and I would not disagree with you there. But I think he played well to get them. Him and Bam played well together as a unit to get them to the finals against Denver, and then of course it all fell apart from there. But since then, it hasn't been pretty. But yeah, just again, the Lakers losing 126 to 106. The Lakers have fallen into fourth place in the Western Conference. But again, all is not lost. If they come back tomorrow, somehow get a miraculous win on the back to back, we'll see what happens. But yeah, Luka has to play. If Luka does not play tomorrow, that's setting us up for slaughter, and that's just not. You can't give away games at this point in time. It's bad enough if the Lakers. I feel better if the Lakers would have won that Brooklyn game, but as Rodell pointed out, they didn't. They didn't get it done. So that's going to be very disappointing indeed. But again, it is of course the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us. Please like and subscribe to get the latest notifications on when we go live on the air with the latest Lakers Fast Break. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts in the chat. I'll be here for a few minutes longer in case you have any questions I'd like to answer. And then maybe Joe and I can pop on tomorrow, or John will be here with me tomorrow. So that'll at least be good right here for all your questions as well. So you get John back on this show. I don't know why John couldn't make it on. He just told me he was a few minutes before the show started. He wasn't going to make it on. And I hope it's not because the Lakers got their butt kicked tonight. But again, I'm here for you. Wins or losses, best I can. I know that the other night Joe and John picked up the slack, so I'm here to pick up the slack for them as well tonight. Jay said Rodell and Rambus, that was then, and the Lakers won 5 to Celtics 3. It's 2025. Reacting is one thing, but wishing is something that isn't done in sports. I know, Jay. You put me on a guilt trip successfully, so I can't wish any injuries on players. So we'll see. Kyrie says, if you think about it, we'll probably still play the same opponents if we drop in the standings just without the home ground. And that's the problem, Kyrie. We are a substantially better home team this season than a road one. So we need all the home games we can get. And yeah, it is a nice thought, Kyrie. The 5 players at once. Boom. Yeah, the Warriors are on hot streak. I think no one can stop us. I don't think so. Agree. Water is sweat. I think OKC. I think Denver has a better team. If the Lakers are healthy, the Lakers are better. Minnesota, they've been playing as well as the Warriors have lately. So, and they just beat Denver by 20 in Denver. So I know that they would give the Warriors fits as well. I don't know about Memphis or Houston. I think Golden State has the advantage over Houston because of sheer experience, because the only experienced players are out there are Dillon and Van Vliet, unless you're going to throw Steven Adams out there for extended periods of time. And then, of course, Memphis, if you have all three. Ja has had a good but not great season. Bane has been good but not great. But Triple J is the reason why they were really, doing so well, and they're still doing well, even though he's been injured. I think Triple J's performance in that first half of the season really is what propelled this team to great heights. If they get Triple J back, they're going to be a force for any team. So Dylan says, Gerald, did you see the Warriors schedule? I think they can go for a 25-game winning streak. I've not seen the schedule. I do know the Lakers are part of it. I believe at least one more time. Yes. And they're home. So I would disagree with you on that as far as the 25-game win streak, because I think the Lakers would beat the Golden State Warriors on the 3rd of April. But let's see what their schedule is. Golden State's. I'm looking at it right now. So they're killing Sacramento. Then they're at home versus New York. They're at home versus Denver. That's going to be a tough one on Monday. Milwaukee, you don't know what you're going to get. But will you get the Milwaukee tonight, or do you get the Milwaukee that's been laying an egg at times? So that's a good point there. Toronto, Atlanta, at home at Toronto. That's a win. Then you're on the road. You do play Atlanta, Miami, New Orleans, and San Antonio, and then the Memphis game at Memphis on the 1st, and then at the Lakers are on the 3rd. that's your true test right there. So you've got a nice long winning streak ahead of you before that, but 25 games, I don't think I don't think so. Water is wet. I don't see Golden State winning back-to-back games on the road against Memphis and the Lakers, who are both above the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference standings. And I expect LeBron to be back by that game, Jackson Hayes to be back by that game, and Rui Hachimura to be back by that game as well. So yeah, I disagree with you there wholeheartedly. Although you do have a lot of nice victories headed your way, especially on the road there as well. All right. But once again, the Lakers do lose tonight, 126-106. Again, the Lakers were paced by a career high as a Laker for Luka Doncic with 45 points. Of course, also as well, AR chipped in 28, but it wasn't enough. Tomorrow they will need more support from the other forces, and when only one other player gets 10 points, which is Dalton Connect, and he did some of that in garbage time, that's disappointing. So tomorrow the bench guys and the supporting characters have to step it up. DFS has to look a lot better than what he did today. Gabe Vincent has to look a lot better, play like he did in Brooklyn. Jared Vanderbilt just has to go ahead and get some rebounds, 3 rebounds in 15 minutes for a guy his size. That he really needs to help out more there. Koloko was nothing. So I'm assuming they'll have Jameson back. Milton only got 4 minutes, so you can't complain there. Jordan Goodwin, after playing so well in Brooklyn, played the exact opposite here. 0 points, -17. I know a lot of people lost a lot of faith in him tonight, but hopefully he can regain some of that faith with you guys tomorrow in Denver. And then Dalton, he just has to get more looks and more minutes. This time where you have so many players down, you need to rely more on his offense and make Lloyd look good for going ahead and saying what he's saying. I don't agree with him right now that DK is better than AR. Can he get to that point or surpass AR? Anything is possible. He's just a rookie, but you got to give him minutes out the floor to go ahead and do that. And right now, 18. He's got 22 listed, but some of that was in garbage time. So let's say 18 minutes, which is what he had for the most part leading up to then. It's just not going to get it done. Jay says, Rodell, Laker fan, rather be one to react and act first. Playback is always better than outright being dirty. True. That's a good point, Jay. Yeah, absolutely. So, Dylan, yeah, Warriors fans, I mean, they're confident. They're really on a high right now. I'm happy for them. I'm happy for my friend Legend. Legend always comes into our chat and is really respectful, and they have exceeded even his expectations. He's being very realistic about it, and I appreciate that. So we'll see. They do have a lot to the credit of Water is Wet. They do have a lot of easy games lined up for them. So a top 6, maybe even a 5th or a 4th seed could be in range for Golden State. I would not put it out of the realm of possibility, but yes, it just absolutely goes without saying. I mean, they're not going on a 25-game winning streak, most likely, because again, on the 1st and 3rd, they're at Memphis and then at the Lakers. That's probably not going to be the case, but Rodell says if Dalton Connect could just be more consistent on those open threes, he would really open things up. And there you're right. Again, see, 4 out of 5. I'm agreeing with you on that one. I know we had our differences on Max, and Max has really struggled in the past two and a half weeks now. But again, I'm sure he will find the rhythm, especially now that he's getting a lot of time, Rodell. So I expect you're going to start seeing some good Max Christie games pretty soon from him. Dalton, same thing. He's got to start making those open shots. He cannot shoot just 36%. A guy like that needs to be able to shoot at 40, 45%, or let's just say 42%. If he could shoot like he did early in the season, in the first 20 or so games when he was shooting right around 42%, that's the Dalton we need. Because you just see by his touch, he should not be missing so many shots. He just has a good feel as far as his shot is. He just looks like it's a good rotation. It comes off his hands well, especially when he goes and takes a step in. I mean, I don't know if you guys will agree with me or not. When he goes, not just from the three, when he gets in rhythm, but when he takes a step in, gets to the right around the free throw line, shoots like a 10, 12 footer, that always looks really good. And, a lot of these players just do not shoot well from the mid range because they just don't practice the mid range. They just shoot the threes over and over. I think, again, the upside to Dalton is there, but is he going to be able to see it with the Lakers? We'll just have to wait and see, because again, just because they used him in a trade once doesn't mean they won't do it do it once again, and for something that they need now instead of waiting for him to develop later. What's up, Kurt? Yeah, rough game, but we will bounce back. Truly appreciate you joining us, Kurt. Um, like you say, please like and subscribe. It helps others find the channel. I will have John with me tomorrow. He's already told me and assured me. Joe hopefully will be here as well. But again, it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. Looking forward to having you on as best I can. I didn't bring up. No, Rodell. I know you didn't bring up Max. No, I brought up Max. I brought up Max, and I meant it in goodwill because I know you're a big fan of Max. Um, but yeah, he has struggled offensively as of late, but I think he will pick it back up again before the season's over, because he's going to get a lot of minutes now with Kyrie. So you will see, I think, in my opinion, you'll see some really good games from him offensively, Max, in Dallas. And I was trying to, you know, throw the, you know, throw the peace blanket out there, saying, hey, you know what? I think he's going to start playing better here. So, Kari says Warriors up 61-51 at halftime. Kari, okay, that's good because they were down by as much as 23. Kari, so hopefully the Kings can come back. Mario Chalmers, you guys are crazy with your names. Hey Gerald, I think we're the better team, bruh, than your Lakers if my Warriors face the Lakers. I don't think so, Mario. I disagree with you wholeheartedly on that. I think the Lakers have a better matchup. They've proven to be a better matchup consistently. Jimmy Butler does make your team better. Obviously, that's been the case, but I disagree with you wholeheartedly, Mario. It's so funny since the and I mentioned this several times, that all these Warriors fans, not named Legend 350, have started coming out. They start beating their chest, but they hide. They hide when they're like in 10th place and just almost out of the play-in mix in the Western Conference. But you know what? You guys have got something to be happy about. You guys got to be, I salute you. I compliment you. You guys got something to be proud about right now with the Warriors. They're shooting well. But again, for the most part, the Lakers have dominated the Warriors in the playoffs in recent times. And I don't see that changing, because I don't see anyone on the Warriors being able to guard Luka. If you get the Luka like you saw tonight, and you get him paired alongside the LeBron, Austin hitting, his shots, and you're getting a little bit better shots from around the perimeter from these guys. I don't see if you get the team that won 8 in a row over a tougher schedule than the Warriors are playing now. I just don't see how you could say that the Warriors are better than the Lakers, because the Lakers do have a better front line than the Warriors. Even with the Lakers not really having a top flight center, they're still a better front line than what the Warriors can provide. And the Lakers will still have Luka battling against Stephen Curry, and that, if that's a mano-a-mano game, the Lakers should be able to take advantage with LeBron over Jimmy and what they have along the front line. But again, I'm happy for you Golden State Warriors fans, because this season, like the Lakers season in December, the Golden State Warriors season in January was looking pretty dim. And it's taken a simple change, and it's really worked out for you guys. So more power to you, more props to you. As much as we say the Luka trade has ignited the Lakers going forward, the Warriors have now made themselves a very competent team, and I will give you guys that. But the thing is, Jimmy Butler is 35. Luka Doncic is 26. The Lakers still are going to be in the mix as long as Luka stays healthy for years to come. how much does a 37-year-old Stephen Curry and a 35-year-old Jimmy Butler have left? So I'm not going to spew a lot of anger at you as some of these other guys may be doing to you, because again, you guys are playing really well, and you guys, as was pointed out by Water is Wet, have a really conducive schedule for a lot of wins going forward. But yeah, I just think as far as a matchup with the Lakers and the Warriors, I still think the Lakers have the advantage simply because the Lakers have more size that they can throw, that the Warriors can't handle. And then also as well, Luka, that still leaves Luka versus Stephen Curry. And even if it's a wash, I'd still give the advantage to the Lakers as far as like, because Luka does so many more things on offense than Stephen Curry does. But again, Stephen Curry can dominate a game and a series just by his threes. So again, we'll see. It would be a great series. How about that? It would be a great series to watch. So leave it at that. But it's so funny because we have a Kevin Durant that's a Sacramento Kings fan and a Mario Chalmers that's a Golden State Warriors fan. Interesting. Only on the Lakers fast break, and I'll leave it at that. But that's crazy. That's crazy. All we need is a Devin Booker fan that's enjoys watching and rooting for the Knicks, and there you go. But yeah, it is of course the Lakers fast break. Unfortunately, very disappointing loss tonight for the Lakers as they lose 126-106. But again, we're always here for you every game. It is, of course, the Lakers fast break. Truly appreciate you joining us. Truly appreciate what you guys. Oh, I know they're trolls, Dylan. Oh, I know. I enjoy it. Remember, this is one of the few channels that doesn't like automatically. He didn't say anything specifically spewing or hatred or anything. He just believed his guys would win. That's fine. Enjoy it. I mean, he's not saying anything offensive or political or anything that's really. He's just saying his team is better than ours. And, that's fine. We love it. We love it. We love it when you guys go ahead and you trolls come in here and we just troll you right back. So absolutely. Thank you, Blue. I'm trying my best. Again, it is, of course, the Lakers fast break. Blues, again, I'll stay on here with you guys for a few minutes to answer any questions that you might have. After the game, I'm going to go ahead and get any more comments. Dorian Finney-Smith on the Lakers starting off the 6 games in 8 days while missing 3 starters because of injury. He said, it's a little adversity. I feel like we need it. I feel like it's either going to help us or getting better or help us get better. Well, that and the fact that, if you didn't get pushed off by Giannis Antetokounmpo and they didn't, the refs won't call it, that also would help if they did. But yeah, that these 3 or 4 occasions where Giannis got away with offensive fouls, but that wouldn't have changed the outcome. I know that's only 6 points right there, but still, kind of disappointing to see the way that the refs have not been calling it fairly, in our opinion. But then again, as fans, I'm sure the other side would say the same thing different. How many times have we heard that the Lakers get all the calls, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not going to go ahead and hold on to that too much because, again, that probably wouldn't have changed everything as far as in the Lakers' favor. The Lakers need a lot more than that. But yeah, it's just disappointing effort on both sides of the ball. Very isocentric on the offensive side of the ball, and on the defensive end, they just were not playing with any force, any effort, any challenge, and any resistance. And you're not going to win. So, JSJ, this is the Lakers talk, not clown talk chat. Yeah, I love you guys stepping up. I love it when the Lakers fans step up and they have something to crow about. Even at times when it's not so good right now, I love it when you guys are still, somebody comes on in and fires you guys up, ignites you guys up, and has you guys defend the Lakers. It's absolutely great to see. Parade and Figueroa, you're still with us. I truly appreciate it, man. Why not just play Vando, Koloko, and DFS at the center position? I'm done with Len. You saw Koloko tonight, Parade on Figueroa. However bad Lynn did, I don't think Koloko did a whole lot better. Whopping 2 points, 2 block shots. I'll give him that. That's 2 more than Alex Len had. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Yeah, Alex Len, when everybody gets back healthy, I wouldn't play him unless you want to throw him out there for 5 fouls. So, that's take it what it is. DFS and Vando. The problem is they get, playing them at the center position. They still get beat on their size, but they're also asked to go ahead and try to guard the offensive team's best player or players. And they get switched off quite a bit very easily. And I found them tonight again, when they switched off, both of those guys found themselves out of position, either allowing a guard to go ahead and guard a Giannis like we saw in the third quarter repeatedly, or just be out of position to go ahead and be available for contesting a shot on the three on the wing or for rebounders. Or for rebounding. So yeah, it's just, I guess so. I guess I could see that. You put them at the 5 spot and see what happens. Vando is, for all I've said that he can't do, he can rebound at a fairly high rate. So I give him credit for that. At DFS, he does a lot of things okay. I just wish he did, really something really good. He's an okay defender, unless he's playing Lillard, because Lillard had his lunch today. We won't discuss that. But he's an okay defender. He's an okay three-point shooter. He's okay across the board. But the problem is, I wish it just when you see him, you think there could be more with DFS. And in his career, I think it's just you're going to be leaving. Now that he's now over the age of 31, he is who he is. You're just wondering if there was something that was left on the table that he just didn't get done. So Jason, center shooting the 3 is a bonus, not needed. I was talking about that, Jay. I agree with you. Yeah, I know that Brook Lopez, and that's something we are going to discuss right now. Brook Lopez and the fact that the Lakers had him when he started to change and evolve his game away from what he was doing in Brooklyn to what he's now doing in Milwaukee and became a completely different player. I really think that when it comes to Brook Lopez, we could have had a chance to maybe look at him as a long-term, but maybe I think that in the minds of the guys, they just didn't think he was going to be able to last that long as a player. I think in their minds, they thought he would be well on his way to being washed by now. And unfortunately, if that's the case, they're proven wrong. But yeah, Jack Seal says, hey, welcome, Jack Seal. Hopefully you'll like and subscribe. Truly appreciate you joining us. Just me tonight. It's more mostly we have guys here, multiple guys here with multiple opinions, but it's just me. You got me tonight, so I'm glad you're here. Yay, that's my concern. AD is too much for the Warriors, and now we don't have AD. Can we still be the Warriors? Yes, Jack Seal. I believe if you have everyone healthy, if you have Rui shooting from the outside, you have DFS and Vando taking shots on either Curry or taking shots on Butler. And then you have LeBron taking some time on Butler. And then you have Jackson, doing the pick and rolls, which really, really disrupts the defense on the other side. I think they would be favored and they would have the advantage over the Warriors, Jackson. But Jackson, they have to be healthy going into playoffs. So we'll see in that. And I know that anybody out there asking for Maxi Kleber, please let Maxi Kleber surprise us all. I know that I got a funny the other night because Mission 24 is convinced that he'll become a contributor. He was terrible for the Dallas Mavericks this season before he got injured. And now you're asking him to do a whole lot better, even to get to his career numbers and career averages when he comes back after missing 2 or 3 months. I want to be pleasantly surprised. I'm really hoping he can, but I don't expect it. I don't expect a lot from Max Kleber, but he is 6'10". He is 250. And if he can get you 7 and 5 or rebounds, or at least 5 fouls on Jokic and disrupt Jokic, it's fine with me. Robert says, Joe, are you penciling in the Lakers for a loss tomorrow against Denver? Because I am. Wow, Robert, I never thought I'd heard you said something like that. Wow, that's interesting. Kind of take me aback on that. Never figured you for a penciling in a loss. with Luka already saying that he is, we'll see on the availability. I'm not penciling. I'm not going to pencil in a loss just yet. Again, it all depends. If Luka sits out, yeah, that's a loss. It's the Luka sits out, that's a loss. Plus, Denver is going to be pissed off the fact that they just got their ass kicked by 20 to Minnesota, and then, of course, there's the little small matter of fact that they got, beat upside the head by Luka Doncic, 2.5 weeks ago on national television. So I think Michael Malone will probably remind them of that. So the odds aren't great. And I'm here in Vegas, and I would not bet on the Lakers winning tomorrow, but I'm not going to pencil out for that. Yeah. Kurt, yeah, I just, if Maxi Kleber gives us anything, I would be surprised. And I would be pleasantly surprised at that, Kurt. So I just, when people are talking about, I just worry when people say, oh, I can't wait till Maxi gets back. Oh, Maxi's going to be great when he's come back. I'm like, I mean, check the stats, check what he's doing. See why the We Talk Mavs guys were so thrilled by getting rid of Kleber's contract. However mad they were at losing Luka, they were happy because they got rid of Maxi Kleber. Thank you, Jack Steele. Truly appreciate you being a subscriber. You don't expect us to win, but maybe get blown up. I can't defend it, Jack Steele. I'm hoping we're all wrong. I'm not penciling it in yet as of yet, like you, Robert. I'm not using let me see if I have a pencil here. Yeah, I do. I'm not going to use the pencil yet on this, Robert. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep positive because, the other day, somebody in the chat, that commented after watching said I was so depressing, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, as soon as that Luka trade came in, we all at the channel, all the members of our channel, we all turned, except for Laker Tom, because he's the eternal optimist. We all turned into becoming real optimists for the Lakers now and in the future, especially in the future. And I'm not going to try and dissuade people from that. But again, I got to call it like I see it. And if the Lakers are stinking, the Lakers are stinking. But right now, this was a performance. Hopefully you can just wipe under the rug and just say, this was absolutely the worst we could play at this point in time of the season. We're going to get our act together and do something better. Our auxiliary players, the Gabe Vincents, the Jordan Goodwins, the Dalton Connects, who did so well in Brooklyn, hopefully will give us that kind of game again in Denver, but we'll see. Yeah, Kurt, it's just for Maxi, it's just, you're asking a whole lot. He was absolutely terrible before he got his foot in the tree. Then you're asking him 3 months from now, after he got his foot, surgery. Oh, by the way, we want you to go ahead and play at a high level in the playoffs. And that's asking a lot from anybody, and you're asking it from a guy who, again, in his mid-30s is, seen better days. I'm hoping he does give us something. I hope he does give us something, because then again, it would be a definite plus for the Lakers. Like you said, Jay, he has 6 fouls. Then trade is expiring in the summer, which is something they're going to have to probably. My guess is Gabe and his expirings, maybe Rui and Austin's expiring would get you a lot more of what you think you need. That might be a better fit around Luka. But again, we'll discuss that more in detail when the season ends and go from there. What's up, Breaker? People don't realize that Maxi is an amazing defender. He's just small, but he's good. Yeah, he's 6'10". Mavs fan here, watched Maxi for so long. I know Maxi, but I'm also a big fan of We Talk Mavs. I really like We Talk Mavs. Those two guys are awesome. I really think they have a good show. On the offensive end, and the fact his availability, Breaker, as you know, because you've seen more of Maxi, his availability in the last 5 seasons, as I did some research on him, it's not been good. His health has just not been good, but he does give you positional defense size. He can give you some rebounding, but man, if he ever gets his 3-point shot back before he leaves the Lakers, that would be a blessing. Because again, he was like in the 20s 3 points when this season's before he went out, and he had already played like 35 games. Yes, 805. That is correct. He may be back before the end of the season. That's the best that they told us right now on it. So, Adam, you may be right as well. You may be right on that, Adam, that we don't see Maxey at all. But they've said at the best he will probably be back maybe the last week of the season, which is, right around early April. I don't know. I just, again, that's tough getting a foot surgery. So, yeah. Dylan says, Gerald, it was AD size that beat the Warriors. Green couldn't handle. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, AD had some dominant games. Without AD, it's a different prospect. Thoughts on this comment, Gerald? It's JJ. I will say this. Yes, AD made it. His one of his few matchups that AD really continuously fed upon was against the Warriors. I just still think that with Luka, if you get Luka, there's nobody that they'll throw against Luka who can really handle him. I don't think Kuminga. I don't think Butler. I don't think Moody. Podziemski, any of those guys can really handle Luka as far as they're concerned. And then what do you do about LeBron? Who guards LeBron? Green? Green doesn't play as much one-on-one as he did in the past. So we'll see. Again, they're playing at a really high level right now. So Golden State will have a lot of confidence going into a series. But again, we'll wait and see. They've got a lot of wins lined up for them. I'm not going to tell anybody that. We just talked about their schedule earlier in the program. So I really think that the Lakers, still will have the edge simply because the fact that even without AD on the front line, with Rui there, with LeBron there, I just think that's going to be too much for the Lakers to go ahead and overcome. I mean, excuse me, the Warriors to overcome. I think the Lakers will have the edge in that series. Curry says we've been beating the Warriors without AD, though. You're right. I think April 3rd will be a test, Kari, because I think that both those teams will still be playing for seeding positions. So when the Warriors come to the Lakers, we can actually get a true test of, or at least a pretty good test of what the Lakers Warriors might be like around that time. Breaker says, yeah, the number one strength of the Lakers if Luka play and LeBron. Again, Breaker, if we're healthy like we were in that 8-game stretch, the Lakers are going to be a tough out for anybody. I'm not favoring them over a team like the Celtics or the Cavs or OKC, but the Lakers in any series, if Luka and LeBron and the team is healthy going into it, have a chance against any team in a 7-game series. And they have a very good chance in the game in a 7-game series. I wouldn't favor them because I'm here in Vegas and I'm not going to go ahead to all that, but I won't say that it's like impossible or anything like that. I say they have a pretty good chance against any team if all of them are healthy. And I'll leave it again. Jackson says, I hope the Sacramento Kings make a comeback. Well, it's in the second half now. They are making a comeback. You know what? They were down by as many as 23-24, I said earlier in the show. They're now only down by 6. Actually, now down by 9. Somebody hit a 3. As soon as I say it, I got to curse them. What happened there? But yeah, again, we'll talk about it. As this goes on. But I think the Lakers, again, I think it's a little bit too early to go ahead and speculate if the Lakers and Warriors are going to meet in the playoffs. We got to get to see what seeds both these teams have, and again, where will they be at here in little over 3 weeks time on the 3rd? We'll see how it looks, and we can start having those discussions because things might look a little bit clearer for the Western Conference when the Lakers and the Warriors meet up at the Crypt on the 3rd. Austin Reeves spoke out about the spot the Lakers find themselves in. They've lost 3 in a row. JJ Redick says when he walked in, everything was good a week ago. Well, everything is not so good now, but again, we will go ahead and find out what the Lakers can do tomorrow to salvage this road trip with a victory, hopefully in Denver. We will see the status of course, Our good friends, as far as what happens on the Lakers, we'll see what the status of who plays and who doesn't on the team for the Lakers. Again, if there's any injury updates, I will report it and retweet it at Lakers Fast Break on YouTube. Excuse me, on Twitter. So yeah, Lucas misses helps every team in the league. Well, yeah, but he did play well tonight. 45 points, but he just he didn't get the support that he needed tonight. In fact, at times he was the best defender on the court. When Luka is the best defender on the court, that's not the best sign for your defense. I'll just leave it at that. Kurt Affair, Xbox, it doesn't matter. Giddey is the MVP of the league and should be celebrated. Now you're just placating to Xbox, Kurt. But again, how did Giddey do tonight? Usually Xbox is like right in my face about that. He did play against D'Angelo Russell. Oh, Cam Thomas came back to the lineup. And man, Cam Thomas, yeah, green light for him as always. There isn't a shot that I think Cam Thomas hasn't liked, which sometimes is to his detriment. But no, he didn't play tonight. Oh, no Giddey tonight, Xbox. They're resting the MVP. Okay, I'll leave it at that. But BC, great to have you here as well. Truly appreciate it. But again, it's the Lakers losing 126 to 106. Again, I'm just trying to help you guys out. Not trying to put everything down as far as not trying to, Robert, I'm not trying to pencil in the loss just yet. But I'm not going to sit here and give you guys false hope. We'll find out what the status of Luka. Luka has to play tomorrow, or else, yeah, that pencil will come out. That pencil will come out, and I'll leave it at that. But again, it is the Lakers fast break, 126 to 106. Xbox, did you want to jump on, or you just want to wait till tomorrow, my friend? Let me know in the comments. Kyrie says Sacramento comes back. They're down 7. Yeah, they were down 23, not 24. Thank you, Kyrie. I thought they were down 24, but it's 23. My mistake. Down 7. So yeah, hope can be there. Luka has, yeah, Jackson, Luka has to play tomorrow in order for the ability for the Lakers to even compete in that game. But then that's going to be a hard one, Jack Seal, because Michael Malone hates the Lakers, and is going to remind them what happened 2.5 weeks ago. Yes, on a national TV front. And then also remind them they got their butts kicked 2 nights ago against Minnesota. So we'll see. Yeah, Legend, quiet night for him. Only a 10. But Legend, Legend is a class act, everyone. I appreciate our community embracing guys like Sports Baby and Legend who have favorite teams that are not the Lakers, but still are a major part of what we're doing. But yeah, again, Steph could go off at any point in time, and that could be all she wrote with the way the Warriors are playing right now. Yes, he is the GOAT. Absolutely, indeed. Xbox. Don't be hard. He is a fellow countryman to use Xbox. I thought you guys got along better than that. Okay, despite the fact you guys like 2 different football teams and football as in soccer to those Americans out there, we'll just leave it at that. Yeah, and I'll just leave it at that. But Jackson says, Gerald, yesterday Murray got a bad game. I guaranteed he would go off against the Lakers. Yeah, he seemingly only. Yes and no, Jaxio. Because remember, Austin, his best defensive performance ever was in that first round against Murray. Now, Murray did hit the 2 shots. I will give him that. But man, if you'd have told me that he would go into the series shooting, what was it, 38% overall and 30% from 3, off the top of my head, I looked it up, but in previous shows, but it was his one of his worst, if not his worst performance for a round in the playoffs. If you'd have told me that, I would say the Lakers have a chance, if not a really good chance, to win. And of course, as we all know, the Lakers led in every single game of that series, and we all know the result from there. Kerry says, you never know. Sometimes it's good to sit stars, other times sit up. Yeah, Kerry, don't have this argument with Joe unless you want to set yourself to get yelled at, because he does not believe in resting guys, and he said Luka had a 2-month window to rest already, so he is good. No, he did not get released. Jameson is on a two-way contract. So he is limited in the number of games he can play for the rest of the season because he is on a two-way. So that's why he did not play tonight. He was deactivated because they did not feel that they wanted to use up his one of his games. I don't know how many games he has left on the two-way, but he has a limited number of games left, and you don't want to. They felt didn't want to use it up tonight in Milwaukee. So I disagreed with the decision to sit down DFS because you saw he was just fine running around today. And that was probably the difference in the Brooklyn game. Jameson wouldn't have made a difference in this game today. Or he might have just gotten himself and Giannis kicked out of the game. He might have tried to go in the front row and go after Thomas as well. But yeah, that's Kurt Fair. You're killing it as always, my friend. I'm telling you, you're killing it as always. Kurt Affair says, I agree with Gerald. Let's get rid of anyone who doesn't support the Lakers and Josh Giddey. You're man, you're killing me. Dylan, yes, the T-Wolves are on a bender. They are playing like I expected them to play at the beginning of this season, Dylan. I had picked them fairly high again in the Western Conference because I thought the trade for Cat was beneficial to them, and I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong because I thought when you get DiVincenzo, who was played so well for the Knicks in the playoffs, plus you get Randall, if you get his head straight, he was going to be able to do a lot of things and maybe go revert back to the old Randall like he played in his 2 or 3 seasons ago in his All-Star season in New York. Plus a first-round pick on top of that. I thought the trade was clearly won by Minnesota, but up until this point, I've been proven wrong. But now that you got both those guys back, they've been playing more like what they traded them for. And if that's the case, that could provide a lot of depth for them going forward in Minnesota. And Minnesota, if they continue to play like this, I may be more fearful of Minnesota than I am of the Warriors, to be quite honest with you. Yes, congratulations to Stephen Curry, the first player with 4,000 three-pointers. Yes, so congratulations to him. I don't think anybody will ever come close to it unless the style of game changes even more towards three-pointers. But yeah, definitely a proud moment to the greatest shooter of all time, Stephen Curry, indeed. Absolutely. So got to give him his props on that. So yes, and with of course what's going on with the Lakers, 4,000 made, yes, 4,000 made threes, yes, and then of course 40,000 K for LeBron that he got over recently as well. So, all right, everyone, I think that's going to be a wrap for today. I hung out with you guys for 90 minutes, and I am indebted to you for stopping on by. No Joe tonight, I guess. He decided he's a little bit busy with the SimBlade stuff. I know he's always on a call, so maybe that call was calling him too much. But yes, hopefully he will have him back tomorrow. I know that I will get John back tomorrow in the saddle with me as far as being able to be here tomorrow night. He will definitely be part of what we're doing. So looking forward to hearing that. Then maybe I'll even get on Xbox as well. Xbox. Hopefully we can get you to stop by. Go ahead and share your thoughts on the Denver game. Win or lose, bad or good, I will be here. And hopefully the rest of the crew will be as well. But yeah. All right. So looking forward to it. I'm glad to have you. Xbox Sports Baby. Always great to have you guys here. Love my Australian contingent. Love you guys so much. That you get a great part of what we're doing. People from all around the world, if you're watching us, America, Canada, UK, South America, London, all over Europe, Asia, Philippines. It's just so I've interacted with so many people, fantastic people on this channel, and I'm truly indebted to you all for giving us the time of day in your schedule. I'm just hoping again we can justify your love by reaching out to an even larger audience to make us a sustainable channel going forward. Because again, we're still a very tiny channel. The odds are still against us from sustaining any kind of regularity, after the season going forward, and for us being at the level, because it's either one of my days in YouTube, it's either it's the big fishes and the little fishes. We're still little fish. We're still little guppy. We're still little small fish in the sea of YouTube. And without your help, we may not be able to get it done. But if you know someone out there that loves the Lakers, loves hard, factual opinions, and the place where they can also voice it themselves and be heard and not be ignored, even if it's something we don't actually always like, stop on by. Tell them to stop on by, become a subscriber, all that good stuff with Lakers Fast Break. It does help us because, again, it's all about visibility and all about being able to sustain itself. Right now, this channel is still not at the point where it can sustain itself without your help and without a lot more help in as far as from the people out there, because we are still a small channel growing, but we are truly indebted to everyone for being a part of it. So Black Logic says, same old Mavs Reddick, Luka versus Ref or Lucas versus Embry. Well, today it was more about Luka versus everybody at times today, because in that first half, it did look like Luka versus everybody, because Austin Reeves hadn't yet hit a stride for the game, and Luka was the only one out there scoring points. But yeah, defensively, it was a nightmare. Just a bad game, Black Logic. So your trolling is falling upon deaf ears, because they just played a lousy game tonight. And it's not, you guys are going to go, those haters are going to point out for Luka, 45 and 11 rebounds, 3 assists, could have done better there, but a lot of that was the people who he was passing to. Gabe Vincent, he missed like 4 shots in a row that absolutely just was wide open 3 after wide open 3 after wide open 3, and he was hitting him in Brooklyn, not hitting him tonight. Goodwin did nothing in 22 minutes. You got to get that support, and then they didn't get it today. But something may change, something may happen differently. I'm not penciling in it yet. When Robert Wheeler pencils in a loss, that tells you something. So I am going, for once, I'm going to be give you guys a little bit of hope, a little bit of light that something can happen tomorrow. It isn't Denver, although Denver with Mike Malone will be pissed off tomorrow. That's a given for sure. So we'll go ahead. But Kari, I'm not getting into that conversation after that comment. I'm letting you, Rodell, work that one out, because that's always a touchy subject. That and his off the court stuff during his career is always touchy subjects. I remember one of my panelists one time talked about the situation, his court issues back in the early 2000s. And that he felt one way, and I got emails, including one email just like about 2,000 words long, in regards to absolutely opposing what this individual said, and it's just like, oh my gosh. Well, it was Jamie Sweet who said it, and it's very divisive. But yeah, as far as a player, if you want to say Kobe is this or that, I'll leave you guys to that. So Harden over Kobe? No, I can't do Harden over Kobe. I really can't. Kobe at like you said, Jake. Kobe was at one time he was a very, very good, if not elite, defender, and was again, high volume shooter. Accuracy is of the time that he came around, and that the accuracy in that time for a lot of players is not that they're not as accurate as we would remember them to be. It's like, okay, I hear sometimes people say, yeah, Kobe didn't miss a shot, or Michael Jordan didn't miss a shot. Well, you want to take a look at the numbers. Kind of missed a shot, down the clutch. He's the best clutch shooter. Okay, yes, one of the greatest clutch shooters ever. I'll give you that. But even the greatest clutch shooters, you can see that the numbers, they weren't perfect. Nobody is. But again, I would love to have Kobe, here today, still with us, being able to discuss what's going on with the Lakers, even from afar. So now No, no, Rodell. I'm not going to get Kari out of here because she feels that way, and if Kari wants to feel that way, that's respect to her on that. I can't say I agree with it, but Rodell, I didn't kick you out, and I didn't agree with you on Max Christie. I didn't say that Joe, he was a non-player, but we were going back and forth on Dalton Connect. We were okay, and I didn't kick you out. So Kobe, you got Kobe sometimes walks on water with the Lakers fans, and definitely I understand that's the case. But I understand Kobe's one of my greatest all-time players, but may not be for everybody. That's all subjective, and I'll just say that. Black Logic says, we know Luka will never make an all NBA defensive team. No, Black Logic. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that he's going to make an all defensive team. And again, if he was your best defender, which he was tonight, that's not helping your team overall. That means you're going to probably get an L in the loss column because of that. But offensively, as a playmaker, he's pretty damn good. And again, he just needs healthier players around him, and maybe we can get this thing done. But we'll see. Again, the Luka haters are still out there. Even when he scores 45 points, the Lakers lose. But it is what it is. I'm not going to go ahead and get upset over it, get mad over it. But you're entitled to your opinion, even if it's not always right. But he was a very ball dominant player, Kari. Whether you say it's a ball hog as far as Kobe. Again, that's up to your determination. Maybe in his later years, it may have gotten more into that, but he wanted it. He wanted the moment. A lot of these players we talk about these days, they don't want the moment. And forever, all the things we say about Kobe, against positive or negative, no one can say that he didn't want the moment all the time and he didn't want to be the greatest all the time. He always, even as a young player, you could see he wanted to play at a higher level and be thought of in a higher level than what he was even playing at. He always wanted to excel and exceed. He always worked on his game and tried hard. He had a work ethic that, I don't want to say it's second to none because that's so cliche, but he had a work ethic that will be still remembered for many years to come. So again, I cannot disagree as far as entirely what you're saying as far as the latter half of his career. Maybe he could have played off the ball a little more, or could have been more selective on his shots a little more in the past. But again, it was a different time, a different era. The team was going in a different direction, and I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, I can understand. Sometimes when he wasn't feeling it and taking up a lot of shots. That's with any star player. When they're not feeling it and they're not shooting well and they're taking a lot of shots. And like LeBron on the days when he's taking a lot of shots and it's just not working out, it is very frustrating to see. Luka, when he shoots 8 of 28, like he did the other night in Brooklyn, or 8 of 26 or whatever. It's the obvious. Maybe he should have, with so many other players playing well alongside of, maybe he should have not tried to take the ball and shoot so much, because again, it's frustrating when a player that level has to be able to understand every single time exactly the right thing to do on each and every possession, and it's just hard when we're seeing that they keep on those games where they just don't have it, that they still think that they have enough and they're still going to be aggressive with their shots. And again, but that's part of the reason why we enjoy these star level athletes, because for the most part they are playing at a high level. Like Luka today, he played 45 points today. He was shooting well today. Again, that probably the best performance overall from any of the Lakers, and it wasn't even close. But we'll see if he can put 2 of those games together tomorrow, if he's allowed to play against the Denver Nuggets. We'll see. But yeah, I don't want to say he was a ball hog or whatnot, but Jay, again, I understand that argument has been out there, especially at the tail end of his career. People started to talk about that more and more. But again, I don't want to go. That's a road where you're just not going to win either which way. You're going to get people that are for, you're going to get people against it. And again, I don't want to get into those kind of arguments and say whether or not they're on. I have my opinions of Kobe. I will think he's always one of the greatest players of all time. He's one of the most dynamic, one of the most exciting players of all time. He has brought so many fond memories to me. I'm forever grateful to him for that. If I'd ever saw him, met him in person, I would have said thank you for everything he did, and I'll just say that. But yeah, you guys, come on, peace and love, everybody, peace and love, peace and love. We're finding reasons to get mad at each other on a day where the Lakers lose, when we should all support each other on a day when the Lakers need our support the most, after a 126-106 loss. But again, I've been here almost 2 hours. I'm grateful, and I was here to almost 2 hours, much longer than I thought, because of you guys asking great questions, having great comments. But yeah, you guys calm down, guys. Yeah, let's be nice. Let's be civil here. Come on. You guys are crazy. Watching the chat sometimes is part of the battle, but yeah, again, that's Kari. Again, that's your opinion, entitled to it, and I respect it, and I'm hoping the other people will as well. But let's the Kobe issue. Kobe is always a hot button issue. It's always a hot button issue on aspects of Kobe's career, life, and whatnot. So yeah, Nick T, you're right. But he's such a streaky shooter, Nick. That's what you're going to get. You'll get the guy that you get in Brooklyn, then you get the guy that you got today, and just never anything in between for a long period of time, or a long enough period of time. That's the problem. But yeah, those were practice shots, Nick. I'm not going to sit here and deny it. And Dalton, I don't know why he didn't get enough burn in that third quarter when they kind of needed it the most, and JJ did make some mistakes. Still a rookie coach, still some ups and downs, but overall, you have to say he's done a very good job of the team. But I don't want to hear any JJ Coach of the Year votes. Please, can we just not do that for him? Can we just not do that? Not go there? I really think you should look in the way of Kenny Atkinson, or the Mark coach for the OKC Thunder. That guy's doing a great job there. Those two I'd consider first before anyone else right now, especially Kenny Atkinson, that took a team and brought them up to a higher level, much more than anyone expected. So I'd probably go with those two guys as first. As Mark Daigneault, that's who I was thinking of. So we'll leave it at that. But once again, it is the Lakers losing 126-106. I'm not saying he hasn't done a bad job. I'm saying he's done a pretty good job. I just don't think you should, I know that when the Lakers were in second place, people were starting to roll out the JJ Redick Coach of the Year stuff, and I'm like, ooh, a little bit premature on that one, but need I digress. Yeah, I know it is. I'm just going to leave it at that, Nick, and just say he's done a good job. He's done better than I expected, and we'll leave it at that. That's his previous Kobe as being precious. Oh, did Joe comment on the? Yeah, here's. All right, but Joe, if you're coming on, you better come on quick, because I'm leaving it in just a few minutes. But again, don't beat up on Kari. Come on, let her have her experience. She's a great part of this community, and let's not beat up on people. So they're entitled to it. But yeah, Kari's. I feel like Kari is out on an island, and really there's just, I feel like I'm on a boat halfway in the lake, and there's like the entire British Navy, or in this case the US Navy, maybe, or whatever Navy you want to provide, coming at this island right now after Kari. I feel like I'm in this rowboat going, stop, don't, come on, let's find a happy medium, peace. Jade said Lakers weren't inside. Not okay. Yeah, guys, we go back to the Lakers Pistons. All right, Joe. If you're coming on, you better come on now, because I think I'm gonna head on out, because this is getting ugly. I mean, once we're going. Okay, you'll be there in a minute. Okay, I'll probably let you take over, because so my voice, I can rest my voice, so I could be here for the Denver game tomorrow, and also play back. Don't forget, guys, it is a 6:30 p.m. start time on the Pacific, 9:30 on the East Coast. But again, for my Australian friends, 6:30 U.S. Pacific time. That is going to be for the Lakers at Denver. It'll play back to the Lakers fast break. So go ahead and join us there. But for now, I will let this man take over. Joe, be nice to Car. She's here almost every day now.
It's not a she. It's a he. He's using his wife's account.
Oh, he's using wife's. Okay, well, there you go. Okay. That's right. You had that conversation the other day. Well, he.
Did I read that right? By the way, I just got home.
He's been trying to justify it, but the thing is,
overrated.
He started off with a generalized comment, which include the word Kobe and overrated. And
hold on. Let me read what he said. Hold on. This is how you know someone. This is how when you know someone's getting defensive. Hold on. Let me read what he said. Let me get back to this. Hold on.
Sorry, Kari. I thought again you're using your wife's account.
There's Joe now and his precious Kobe. This has nothing to do with me.
Let me go ahead. Look, I'm looking up the.
How do you have the nerve? You want to say LeBron is better than Kobe? You want to say Oscar Robertson is a better player than Kobe? Whatever. That's an opinion. Overrated? Overrated? Did somebody say Harden was better than Kobe too? Harden is even with Kobe. I don't think you're smoking meth, dude. I think you're smoking that speedball that killed Philip Seymour Hoffman. Jesus Christ. That is a horrible take, Carrie. That is a horrible take.
My daughter was mentioning about how she heard that some people were actually doing cocaine at a grad night, like when she was still a high school senior at Disneyland. And I'm thinking to myself, don't do cocaine. Don't do cocaine. That's all I ask, honey. Don't do cocaine.
That's crazy. They were doing that on grad night?
Yeah, at Disneyland. That's because that word gets around.
What the hell are these kids doing? This is in
the
70s, is it?
Cocaine.
Carrie, you're gonna get this. You better put your pants back on because I'm gonna mess you up right now, dude.
I'm trying to find the actual comment.
Am I gonna have to drop some knowledge here on Kobe's career?
Well, you could do something on a night. Cheer these guys up, but don't be too hard.
Kobe admitted he had a bad series. Yeah. Carrie, I'm calling right now. He's sounding like a Carrie right now. He's not sounding like someone who knows what he's talking about. I mean, I've heard a lot of things about Kobe. I've never heard the word overrated. That's something I would say that's something a New York Knicks fan would say because they're frustrated with how shitty and overrated their team has been in the history of the NBA. They have the most famous arena with the most dinkest team that you can have in that arena. Mm-hmm. Right? They haven't won shit in half a century. And the Lakers still, in case you guys don't know the history of the NBA, Lakers are still the franchise, whether they were in Minnesota or in LA, are still up 3-2 in the finals against the New York Knicks franchise. Mm-hmm. People only remember the two losses in 70 and 73. But the Lakers have that, they've been to the finals against the Knicks 5 times. They've beaten them 3 times. 2 of those were when they were in Minneapolis.
I'm still trying to find that comment. Forgive me. I'm trying to.
Yeah, I mean,
I can see where all.
And really, I mean, come on, putting James Harden's name next to Kobe might be the dumbest take I think I've ever heard. Honestly, Carrie, I've heard a lot of bad takes. I've talked to a lot of people in my time comparing players, but I've never heard anything more asinine than evening out James Harden with Kobe, the guy that never played defense in his entire life. Kobe's a 9-time. Am I gonna have to say it 9 times? 9-time first team All-NBA. What? The owners, the writers just decided to write in Kobe because they were being nice. If that was the case, then they would have given him more MVPs, wouldn't they have? Right? 9-time first team. Forget about second, third. I don't care about the second and third. I'm talking about first. 9 times. How many first team All-NBA defensive teams did James Harden make? What did James Harden win ever in his life? What? When he was the man. when he was second, when he was third, whatever it was. Didn't matter. Second, third, first. Didn't win shit. Couldn't even win a series by himself when they really needed him when he was up 3-2. You give Kobe a 3-2 lead no matter who's playing, he's closing that shit out. He had 3 bad series in my book. Actually, it's not 3, it's 2. 2 bad series in my Laker viewing life. 2004 finals, and the other was the series against the divisional series against a semifinal series versus Oklahoma City in 2012. Those are the 2 bad series he had. What were you looking for?
Usually, I mean, that exact comment, Kari. I didn't want to misquote Kari or Kari's husband.
Oh, now you're taking take everything back now, Kerry. Don't. No, I'm not buying that. No. Harden is not a better offensive player than Kobe. No. Why? How is that? How? How? That whole offense that Harden ran. How many shots would he take a game? And what did the league do during that time? That's like saying Matt Stafford is a better quarterback than Dan Marino because Matt Stafford has 2 5,000-yard passing seasons. Could you imagine Dan Marino with the rules now? You have to put things in context. You guys know this. You know this. You know I have discussed the word context. Rules matter. Eras matter. That's why it's usually stupid to compare eras. But there's one thing that you cannot deny. The fact that you put Harden in the same sentence with Kobe automatically doesn't allow you to have any credibility in any discussion from here on out. That's a horrible take. Harden is, to me, a volume shooter if there ever was one. And how many teams did he play on where it was just him for like 6-7 years? Imagine if Kobe shot the ball 40 times. Kobe cared about winning, guys. Kobe cared about winning. You don't think Kobe could have averaged 50 a game? Let's ask the real question. Let's say Kobe was really selfish. You don't think he would have been able to average 40? I'm not going to go to 50. 50 is a lot.
There you go.
40 a game. Honestly, answer this question. If Kobe was really selfish, like some of you jackholes have called him, they're not in here, only one right now, but those out there that I've talked to, you're going to look at me right now and say that he couldn't have averaged 40 points, let's say in 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2003. Kobe could have averaged 40 in his sleep. He didn't, because ultimately it was about winning. He cared about winning. When he wanted to get traded, it wasn't because, he didn't get what he wanted and wanted to go to Brooklyn. And then after that, he didn't get what he wanted. I'm going to go to Philly. And then after he didn't get what he wanted in Philly, I got to go to L.A. I mean, seriously, that's an insult of all insults that I've heard when it came to the Kobe discussion. You want to call him an asshole? You want to call him someone that maybe could have done a better job with Shaq? Absolutely. Absolutely, that's correct. I do put a little blame on that whole setup with him too. People want to blame Shaq. People want to blame Kobe. It was equal. These are grown-ass men, guys. These aren't supposed to be children, even though they do act like children sometimes, especially Shaq. But we got deprived of what could have been the greatest duo in sports history, let alone basketball history, because of 2 guys who couldn't get along in the end. Shaq and Kobe, the modern-day Wilt, modern-day MJ, in their primes, should have won at least 6 titles. At least. If Pippen and Jordan could win 6 titles, Shaq and Kobe should have won 6. But because they were stubborn, wanted to do it their way, one wouldn't listen, the other one couldn't connect, whatever. And now we have to have this discussion years later about how Kobe shot 44% from the field. Yeah, okay, keep bringing up bad stuff that he did, right? Is that what it is? What about the 48 and 16 in to close out Sacramento in 0-1? What about game 4 in 2000 when Shaq fouled out? What about the game-winning shot from Ori from Kobe's assist, who apparently didn't like to pass the ball in game 3 in 2001? What about the Portland series in 2000 in Portland? Passed to Ron Harper for the game winner. Should I go on? Should I keep going? Should I? 81 points, 62 Kobe 62, Dallas 61.
3 quarters.
9 straight games with 40. 5 championships, 7 finals appearances. 9 first-team All-NBA. 11 first-team NBA, first-team All-NBA. 4-time All-Star MVP. This is overrated? And then you come out with, oh, well, he only had 2 assists in this one game at one time. Kobe started his career as the first perimeter player in NBA history to come out from high school to the NBA. He came to the Lakers as a project. Didn't play hardly in this first season. Played a little bit more in the second season. Made the All-Star team as a starter. Should have won six man of the year that year, by the way. Totally got botched on that. I don't know how. He was the best 6 man in the league. 1999, there was a lockout. Only played 50 games. When Kobe played his first 82-game season as a starter, the Lakers won the championship, and was the first team. You listening, Kerry? First team All NBA. Okay, now we're going to Colorado. We went from basketball to James Harden to Colorado now. What are we doing here? This is exactly how this argument always goes.
And the Colorado argument, Joe, because you remember when I think you were here.
I never said I was going to put Kobe over MJ, but I will tell you right now. I'll let you finish your joke. Sorry, let me put a button on this.
No worries.
I have never said Kobe was better than MJ, but I would pick Kobe second. Kobe did not have weaknesses in basketball. I didn't see a weakness. MJ as well. The thing that separated Kobe from MJ is MJ had another gear that God gave him. His fast twitch fiber is immense. It's immense. That's what kind of separated him. So one of the examples I use is Kobe would shoot over you if he couldn't get to his spot. MJ always got to his spot. He was that fast, that quick. There's a reason why they called him the Black Cat. He was ridiculously athletic. There was a game I saw randomly one day, like this was years ago, on ESPN Classic. And Michael Jordan in 1986, 87, 88 was so freakishly athletic. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was young. I don't remember that, right? But I was watching him move. I wasn't even paying attention to the game. He was so relentless and so fast. And I don't care how slow you think people were in the 80s. These guys are still professional athletes. These guys are freaks of nature. These guys are freaks of nature. And then you have Michael Jordan. There was another athletic ability there that no one I've ever seen have. I've seen a few people have close, maybe like in terms of vertical, like a Vince Carter. Would be another one. Robert Pack was that guy's athleticism was just, I don't even know what the hell that was.
Fast. He was so quick.
Oh
Joe.
my God. I don't even know. I don't even know what that was either. So there have been guys that have been maybe, I don't know if I could ever put him next to Jordan in that 84 to 90 area. Maybe there was a couple guys that could match his athleticism, but I didn't see it. At least I didn't see it because I think there was, not only did he have that athleticism, but it's that mental relentlessness gave him an even higher gear. Kobe did not have those things. He didn't have big hands. He was still a freakish athlete, of course. I don't think you can't deny that he wasn't, because those under the basket dunks that he did against Minnesota and the Knicks, I remember those games. I was watching them live, and you can't not be a freakish athlete without making those kind of plays. And I'm hoping most of the people that I've spoken with recently are not likely watching the games like I did. And as a Laker fan, I can't really get enough justification behind it because I'm a Laker fan. They'll think I'm being biased. I'm not being biased. It has nothing to do with being biased. I'm going to tell you the truth. You guys all should know that. I don't sugarcoat anything, right? Kobe Bryant is the second best player I've ever seen in my life in terms of basketball. He executed better than anyone other than maybe Michael Jordan. LeBron James has the physical stature, he has the accolades and the accomplishments that I don't think anybody will come close to other than maybe Kareem, right? And you can maybe even say Bill Russell, because they didn't have finals MVPs at that time. I can only imagine if they had finals MVPs when Russell was winning championships, because he probably would have had 10. But I can't tell you what Russell was. I can't tell you what Wilt was. I can base Wilt's career off of, if that guy was so statistically freakish and all that stuff, I would have liked to have seen a better record than 2-4 in the finals. And then you have Elgin Baylor, who couldn't get past the Celtics with Jerry West. You had Bill Russell, but they had 4 or 5 different. They had only 7, 8 teams at that time. I think one year there was 9. He had like 4 or 5 Hall of Famers on his team at all times. That helps, guys. This is still a team game. And his how come no one talks about Bill Russell's field goal percentage, especially for a big guy? Do you know what his field goal percentage is, Gerald?
Not up to 10.
41%. How come I don't hear any of that? This is a center. He was 6'9", but he was a center. How come no one talks about that? Oh, no, it's only Kobe when he misses shots. Oh, well, he's a 44.9% field goal percentage guy. No. Nope. And as far as I'm gonna bring up, I'm going to talk about the whole Shaq and Kobe thing, because I think that's something we maybe don't get into too much detail on. It's a very vivid memory for me. So Kerry says it was because of their feuding. Shaq was number 1 and Shaq didn't, and Kobe didn't like it. Okay. That line right there, Shaq was number 1. Okay. We talked about this, I think, yesterday, didn't we? About Shaq's getting swept. You know how many times Shaq got swept before he won his first title? Should I count them? 3-0 against Indiana in 1994. Yeah, 94. Swept in the finals by the Rockets. Swept by the Bulls in 96. Swept by Utah in 98. Swept by San Antonio in 99. That's the most dominant player at that time, getting swept 5 times before he won the championship. Shaq was the first option. What you fail to realize is he was not ever going to get anywhere close to 4 championships without Kobe Bryant. You want to say, oh, if you put AI in there, he would win. Oh, if you put Tracy McGrady and he would win. If you put maybe in 2000, maybe. Tracy McGrady and AI, when they were at their peak, were amazing basketball players, but they never put in the work. They didn't do the little things. You know how we talk about on the show, the little things? They do not three-peat. You could put LeBron there. You could put AI in there. You could put T-Mac in there in replacement of Kobe. And I would go down with the ship and guaranteeing that if they had one of those guys, they would not have three-peated at the very least. You know what used to happen? You remember this, Gerald, right? You're at that age where you can remember everything at this point, the last 25 years, like I can, right? So what was the status of every road game during that time? Shaq would get 2 fouls in the first 5 minutes, and he would be out the rest of the quarter. The refs always officiated Shaq different on the road versus at home. Who do you think took care of the road stuff? Mary Poppins? Rick Fox? Love Ricky Fox, by the way. Love Derek Fisher. Love Robert Horry. Love Brian Shaw. Love Ron Harper. Love all those guys. They all had a say in those wins too, by the way. Not discrediting them in any way. I love all those guys. But you don't have Kobe Bryant. Shaq's career is very, very different. Shaq's career is not as fulfilled as it should be. It still isn't in my book. I think he should have won 6. He had no business losing in 95. He had no business losing in 04. Whose fault it is, who isn't fault, I don't give a shit. That's your job. Your job is to make sure to get those games. When you're favored to win a series, you cannot lose when you're Shaq in his prime. I'm sorry, you can't. And same with Kobe. You can't. You cannot lose those series. But sometimes you meet the right team. I mean, Kobe lost, other than 04, he lost his one final against how many Hall of Famers are going to be on that Boston team in 08? 4. Rondo's going to make the Hall of Fame, guys. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, but he's going to make the Hall of Fame. 4 Hall of Famers will be coming from that. Oh, and by the way, they had James Posey on that team, who was a relentless defender. Oh, and they had Tony Allen, whom Kobe has on record said that might have been his toughest defender. Context, folks. Context. You want to sit there and degrade 5 championships? Basically kind of 2 different eras in an 11-year span? You don't want to give Kobe credit for that? You want to talk about his field goal percentage? Playing with a broken index finger on a shooting hand? Not missing a game from it? "14 years in the NBA, spent half that in the finals with 2 different era of basketball. And the time that he wasn't winning championships or competing for championships, he was taking Smush Parker. And if you think Alex Len is frustrating, watching Kwame Brown play basketball would want to give you an aneurysm.
I think it did for me.
Yeah. I hope you got to the hospital quick enough, because that was a dangerous activity watching the Lakers play. It was, I think, really not putting your head through drywall, I think, was more entertaining than watching him play.
Vanderbilt has super glue on his hands compared to Kwame Brown. I'll just leave it at that.
Yes. And I think it's you don't allow by discrediting Kobe Bryant. I think there's something else there. I really do. And that's fine. That's fine. But you cannot say that man was selfish to the point where selfish people, selfish players are a detriment to winning, folks. That's like saying, Gerald, how long have you been married?
20 years.
Okay, that's like saying Gerald is a selfish man and he's got a 20-year marriage. Does that really sound right? How is a selfish man going to be selfish like that and have a happy 20-year marriage? And by the way, when I say happy marriage, guys, I've met his family. I'm very observant. It's a happy family. Gerald's not hiding anything. Believe me, those things are very easy to find out, especially I've been married almost 17 years. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to call someone selfish, yet they've reached the peak more than how many other people have more in the last, what are we at now? 50 since 1969. I'm going to say that because, again, basketball, I'm not discrediting Bill Russell. It's just a different league. But since 1970, which is 55 years, 55 to 56 years, how many other people, there's only 2 players, I believe, that have more championships. Well, actually, you got to put Robert Horry in there, but he's not a star player. But there's only Scottie Pippen and Jordan who have more titles than Kobe. Boy, I didn't expect this conversation to be here tonight. I actually was coming home to probably assume that you wouldn't be on, and then here we are.
All it took, and that's the thing. Kari's comment was what?
Kerry, where is it? I haven't seen anything posted yet. Did he leave? There we are. Okay, Shaq finals. Okay, yeah, I know. Shaq played Shaq should have won the MVP, and I have this on air. I have this cataloged. Shaq should have won the MVP in 20. Jeez, I always say 20. 2000, 2001, and 2002. He should have won the MVP all 3 years. The only reason why he didn't win it in 01 and 02 is because he missed time. But Kobe should have won the MVP 4 times. 06, 08, 09, and 10. He got gypped. Kobe had 7 game winners in 2010. If they don't win those 7 games, Gerald, they're an 8th seed that year.
Mm-hmm.
How is that not an MVP? The Lakers went 65-17 in 2009. They lost 2 of those games that year on a buzzer beater. One with Indiana, one with the Sixers at home. They were relentless in 09. Very underrated team. How is that not an MVP? Because I keep hearing the same thing, right? You got to win to be the most valuable player. Well, who won more than Kobe in 09? Well, the Cleveland. Oh, Cleveland in the East, where the East was shit, right? Competition, contest. This guy, Kobe, was getting 1 seeds those years in the West. They had to beat 450-win teams in 2010. How is that not great? How is that not great? Imagine we're sitting here talking about the Lakers getting a 2 seed or a 3 seed based off of 52 or 55 wins. Back then, you had 50-win teams as an 8 seed. And Kobe was beating these teams from beginning to end. He didn't have any break. He wasn't playing Atlanta. He wasn't playing Charlotte. Imagine if Kobe was in the East during that time. It would have been 4-0, 4-0, 4-0 before he got to the finals. Imagine how much wear and tear he would have saved. Context, folks. Context. You have to be there to understand what was going on at that time. When somebody who's 4 years old telling me LeBron is better than Kobe, better than Shaq, better than Jordan, you have no credibility at all because you weren't there. You were not there to feel what was going on. So I don't think I need to explain myself anymore, do I?
And as far as the Colorado stuff, again, I don't want to go down that road because, again, we already had Jamie when he said his opinions and his thoughts on it. I mean, people
Well, to put a button on that, no one knows shit, but they act like they do. You talk to lawyers that I know. You know, it's funny. They had an episode of Growing Pains. This was years ago, obviously. And I remember the episode. It's the only one I remember. And I remember Carol, the nerdy sister, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was this. I couldn't remember exactly the story, but I remember that she did something, or she was accused of doing something.
Was it drugs?
No, I don't know if it was drugs. It was something where she just had to plead guilty to not have to deal with anything. And she goes, but I'm not guilty. Why would I say I'm guilty? Because, in some cases, it's easier to get the plea deal done so you can avoid trial and avoid jail time or whatever, right? Like people will say no contest. I guess maybe they didn't teach no contest at that point, right? So the story was she had to say she was guilty and she would get a lesser charge. She would get maybe community service and it'll be done. And then her response to that was, but I'm not guilty. But the risk was if you say you're not guilty, then they're going to, try to go to trial with it. You see what I'm saying? So the stuff that you saw at the end, maybe it gives you this feeling that he might have admitted something. And again, I'm not going to sit here and talk about the details of what you should think and what you shouldn't think. But I think calling Kobe overrated and comparing and maybe even saying James Harden is a better offensive player than Kobe. That's I just don't see any.
That's the one I can't. That's the one I
even
can't
fathom that. I can't even understand how that happens.
Yeah, I can't go there.
Kobe was the most lethal offensive weapon when it came to the half court of a basketball area. He could kill you on the 3-point line, mid range, get to the basket, get to the paint, shoot over you. His footwork is impeccable. Turnaround shots. I saw him in 2010, and this was as peak as Westbrook could be, even though he won an MVP in 2017. That was the other one I kept forgetting. Westbrook's athleticism. Jesus Christ. 2010, first round. He's running like a freaking hamster on a wheel, man. You cannot catch that guy. He was scoring. He was doing all the shit, right? Because that was a tough series. They won in 6. Kobe got on him and just completely frustrated him. And this is Kobe after 15 seasons. This is 15th season at this point. 14 technically, but, after it was done. Yeah. Yeah, it's not good. Kerry, terrible, terrible, terrible take. Absolutely terrible. You should be ashamed of yourself. I think you should, when you get off the show, I think you should go take a bath and shampoo with 2 different types of shampoo, 2 different types of soap, and maybe even soak yourself in a tub. Seriously, you got to clean that off. I mean, come on, James Harden, folks, really? James Harden? What are you going to tell me next? Gilbert Arenas is a better scorer? And the reason why I brought that up, too, by the way, is when he hit 60 in L.A. that one time, there was a lot of articles about that, too. I'm sitting there going, what? This what have you done for me lately is hilarious. And revisionist history is hilarious, folks. And maybe I'm a weird guy. Maybe I remember everything. And maybe I store it in a way where I don't have to worry about being all into what's going on now. Because people are like that, G. They're like that. Oh, well, it's worse now than it's ever been in the history. I go, you do know that people used to sell their kids like out of the hospital, right? Back in the early 1900s. Go read it. It's on the internet. I mean, I guess it could be fake. Why would it be fake? People have always been people. Matter of fact, I think it's been worse. It's been much worse. And to think that things were better now or worse now, I think you do yourself a disservice when you do that. What you need to do is you really need to sit down and really focus on what you've watched and what you've seen and understand the difference. Opinions, you're entitled to them, but you got to have stuff to back it up. If you're gonna talk about something that might be maybe not agreeable to the masses, well, bring the information. One of my favorite sociologists, I mean, he has different tags. He's a professor as well, is Thomas Sowell. Thomas Sowell is a brilliant man, a guy that doesn't get talked about enough, actually. He comes with facts. When there's issues with political discussions, social discussions, he comes with facts, guys. He actually does the research. And what happens when you tell someone the truth, usually, Gerald? They say they want the truth. But what happens usually? You know how the whole, hey, honey, does this make me look fat? You know, that whole, cliche, right? You're always taught to say, this is from when I was a kid, right? Oh, you're always taught to say, just say she looks good. See, that's a bad way to teach people, man. That's not the truth, though. Especially to someone who's supposed to be close to you. You're supposed to tell them the truth, right? That's what it's all about. But you got to come with something. Kobe's first ring, he averaged 15 points in the finals. He only has 1 MVP, 2 finals MVPs, second fiddle. Oh, okay. Did you forget Jalen Rose almost broke his ankle? Or am I being obtuse? You do know that, right? Oh, and let me ask you this. You remember Game 4, right? Overtime? Shaq fouling out? Take Kobe out of that game. What happens? That series is 2-2. Then what? Then it's very likely that the Lakers are going back home down 2-3. Oh, what about the game winner against Phoenix in Game 2 in the semifinals? How about that one? Come on, Black Logic. You got to change your name to Black Tragic. Because if you're going to come bring stats to me, I'm gonna fry you. Don't be bringing me stats. Because you're now going to, you just told me, or some of you just told me he's selfish, but then when he holds back his game to win, oh, he doesn't have the stats. Which one is it? Which one is it? He has the stats. He's a ball hog. He doesn't have the stats to win. Oh, he didn't have enough. What do you want him to do? Folks, anyone on that team, that includes Magic, Bird, Jordan, would have been second option in the offense because Shaquille O'Neal was a force that only Wilt has been in the NBA. Even as great as Bill Russell was, he was not that kind of player. He was the ultimate defending team player. He was like Dwight Howard, but smarter in his era. There's only been two guys that have dominated the NBA as bigs the way they did. Kareem was accomplished, arguably the greatest center of all time, but I'm talking about pure dominance. Wilt and Shaq, anyone on that team would have been second option, even if Jordan was on there in his prime. So understand that, because it always gets to Kobe, to discredit Kobe. Why? Why? Kobe did not come into the Lakers like Jordan did, like LeBron did, like AI did, where he was the man off the bat. You don't think Kobe would have had more accolades if he was the man from the beginning? You're out of your fucking mind. It's important to understand your information. If you want to continue to believe that bullshit and go talk about it with people who don't know anything about this, you're going to be able to get away with it. You're going to be able to get away with it. And you all act like all the greatest players haven't lost series that they should have won. Bill Russell lost in the finals. Bill Russell lost to Wilt in 67. Magic lost 4 finals. Bird lost 2 finals. MJ lost to the Pistons 3 years in a row. Couldn't beat them. Everybody had their bridge to climb. LeBron couldn't win in Cleveland because no one wanted to go to Cleveland. You had to go to Miami to have a team to win. Not all careers can be perfect, right? They can't. It's impossible. There are too many variables in there. The owner giving a shit. Circumstance of other teams being great. For example, LeBron beats Golden State in 2016. There's a little bit of a loophole because by the blessings of disguise, I said this on last night's show too, Steph Curry's ankle issues created the 17 and 18 titles. You know how, G? So we talked about this. Gerald knows, right? So Gerald, he injured his he was looking like an Eldrunas Ilgauskas at that point. His ankle was not healing for the first 4 years of the career.
No.
So his second contract.
That's why his first. Well, that's why his first major contract after his rookie deal was not that high because Golden State was hedging their bets.
Apple, good memory. Okay, let me put this. I've listened to Smush Parker in his interviews. There was I can't remember what documentary it was, but Smush Parker was teary-eyed. And he was talking about that instance. I don't know what happened with him and Kobe. And again, folks, no one is perfect, okay? Kobe's a human being, just like we are. There's things he's done that I don't like either. But sometimes when I was watching those things, and I watched Smush Parker, and I don't think it needed to go the way it did. I don't like that it went that way. Why? I just don't. I felt bad for Smush. I did, and there was compelling discussions from him about his relationship with Kobe, and I said, maybe Kobe might have been, maybe Kobe kind of maybe missed this one a little bit. We were talking about how he might have missed on Rob Pelinka too, right? But I don't know what that has to do with Kobe's career. It really. I mean, look what Pippen's doing to Jordan. Are we going to now talk about how we're siding with Pippen? You guys are throwing shit on the wall now. Where'd Gerald go? Because Gerald said, fuck this, I'm done talking about the Kobe thing. Let's see here. Hold on. Let me look at some of your stuff. Thank you. Glenn Rice helped us kick off that three-peat. Not enough credit for G Money, man. I think he was valuable in that 2000 season. I think he was the perfect third guy, and a lot of the reasons why they kept winning games. Yeah, I'm not seeing Gerald here. Where is he? Yeah. Eddie Jones and Kobe. Although I do think if they had held on to Eddie, I think Phil might have made them work. Might have been able to make that work. I think he would have used Eddie as a six-man on that team if they were able to get that done, because they would have put Fox. Fox came off the bench in 2000, so they would have probably put Fox in the starting lineup, and he would have convinced. Was I out? You there, Gerald? Anyone? You all hear me?
Yes. I can hear you.
Okay, good.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Eddie Jones would have. So Kerry is changing the subject now a little bit, I think. Thank you, because I'm kind of tired of talking about this now. Eddie Jones, had he stayed in LA, would have likely. I think Phil would have convinced him to be the sixth man on that 2000 team, and that would have been a lethal lineup. And Fox came off the bench that year. I think he would have been in the starting lineup in replace of, because Eddie Jones got traded for Glenn Rice. How that team would have been, I don't know. That's a good question. You think that would have been a better team, Gerald?
For who?
Let's say they don't make the Glenn Rice trade and they keep Eddie Jones. I think Phil puts him as a six-man, right?
But it's all positional, Joe, though. I really liked Eddie Jones. I really thought he was a really good player, underrated player in many aspects, especially on the defensive end. Of course, he played at the wrong time because of certain Kobe Bryant being there as well. I think they would have been better, but am I wrong in saying that? I mean, situationally, Rice is underrated as well as a great shooter, and at a premium when shooters went at a premium, and not just everybody now can shoot threes. 3-point shooters were at a premium. The Lakers did have a sniper, which is something Eddie Jones could not do, but as well. But man, I like Jones games. I really like Jones games.
I believe that because the league was still in position-centric league at that time, there was point guard, scoring guard, small forward, power forward, center. I'm almost sure that Phil Jackson would have tried to convince Eddie Jones to come off the bench. And Eddie Jones would have been a six-man perennial player on that three-peat team. It's just too perfect. It would have been too perfect. Him coming off the bench, yeah, he would have been absolutely just lethal with that team.
All right, let's close it out because Xbox is thoroughly pissed at you. He's screaming at you to talk about something in 2025.
Joe, thoughts on AR?
He just wants you to talk about something relevant to today's game. I think he's tired of listening.
Didn't you guys do that already?
I'll put almost 2 hours.
Put the cliff notes. I'll put the cliff notes tonight, folks. Tonight, folks, was
Xbox was pissed at you, Joe. He was pissed at you.
Tonight was a
when you're shouting at him, yes, you're pissed. Xbox.
Tonight was a defensive. Their defense tonight was probably the worst I've seen this year. They couldn't guard a dead fish out of the ocean, and there was nothing that Luka or AR could do. And did Gerald freeze again? Gerald, are you still there? I'm shouting at myself. Let me restart this.
I'm back here, so I'm back again.
Gotta love this.
There he is.
Look, my internet is doing
okay.
Well.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
All right, but
sound like
I can hear you.
Yeah,
go for it.
So where is everybody? I
they're here.
Yeah, everybody here. I don't know.
They're watching it.
My internet's fine. I've been relentless with it.
Rodell said, "I'll end it with this: if MJ and Pippen worked in Chicago, then Eddie and Kobe would have worked in LA." Okay.
I don't think as much as I love Eddie, I don't think he's anywhere near. He didn't have the physical stature of a Pippen, but I get what you're saying there, Rodell. The game tonight was the talent was just not available tonight. It's as simple as I can get it. It would have worked if they had DFS in the Brooklyn game. I think that would have won them the game in Brooklyn and would have lessened the losses likely tonight, or the loss tonight and likely tomorrow. The problem is it's just not enough talent, man. This team has really no margin of error when it comes to the guys that can cause problems for the opposition and not have them overwork themselves. They have to overwork themselves when LeBron's in there. And when you don't have a center on top of that, and the only centers you have are ones that are probably not supposed to be in the NBA. Jemison doesn't belong in the NBA, really. Koloko doesn't really belong in the NBA. And Alex Len definitely doesn't belong in the NBA. They're there because they're gifted size-wise, and the Lakers are tapped out. The NBA doesn't have a lot of talent when it comes to that position. It's not necessarily needed, and they don't shoot well. And then, I mean, it's just it's the worst position to have. It's become it's kind of become the middle linebacker of basketball. Have you noticed, Gerald? You don't see any great middle linebackers anymore. I think, yeah, it's sad that position that used to be like one of the big positions where you had some.
But now it's all about edge rushers. It's all about getting it on the ends.
None of that matters. No. A normal, because guys are I guess more athletic, more quick, more size. That's the basic talent now, where you can clog up running lanes and not have to get a Ray Lewis or a Dick Butkus or a Mike Singletary anymore. Those days are gone, and I think that's kind of what the center position, in a lot of ways, has turned into.
Now, before we go into this doom and gloom, you guys, okay, and I can't believe you and I are going to try to be the beacons of hope here. Before you guys count us out, because that's what I heard even before you came on, Joe, is people just like already doom and gloom. First round exit. Are we going to lose to the Warriors, et cetera, et cetera? I'm like, guys, let's get our team healthy, getting in the playoffs. You've seen what happens when we have everyone healthy. We are as competitive as any team in the NBA. So before you guys put the doom and gloom on, let's see where we're at in April. This time in April, let's see where we're at, because it'll be around the end of the season, Joe. Let's see where we're at first before we go ahead and write the epitaph on this season.
My only worry is not having a 2 or 3 seed after all this. The 2 and 3 seed, I believe, are imperishable terrible. Imperative to having a shot at winning a title. If they don't get the 2 or 3, you're risking a very, very hard run in the playoffs. If they get the 4 or the 5, which although let me think about this for a second. Let me look at this real quick. Let me add maybe some even more hope. Let me look at the standings here real quick. So let's say the Lakers drop to 6 and they end up meeting Memphis in the first round. They're going to have to face Denver in the second round because I don't think Golden State or Houston's going to.
You're not going to avoid Denver and OKC.
So, yeah, it's going to be important for them to have a shot, likely a good shot to win it all. They have to get 2 or 3. And 3 is still pushing it. 2 was going to be good because they'd be at home in both series in the first round, second round. And if there was some miracle where Oklahoma City lost in the second round, now you'd have home court throughout. That makes a difference for a team that has no margin of error. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I saw the score. Yeah.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried about the Warriors. I'm not worried about the Warriors at all.
I think the Lakers still match up very well with them.
Lakers have always matched up well. They've won games when the Warriors were the Warriors. They play well against the Warriors. They always have. The problem is home court. And it's more important now because the Lakers have the second best home record in the West. They don't play well on the road. They play well at home. They need the first 2 games at home. But that's a good stat there, BC. I haven't gone back before 1990 really because the structure of the playoffs, this current playoff was, well, actually it started before that. It's just easier to do it in recent memory, but that says a lot right there. Only 2 teams seeded lower than 3 have won a title in 78 years of the NBA. One of them is the 95 Rockets. Who's the other one, BC? Was it the... Shoot, I haven't even researched that one. Who was the other one, BC? Anyone? We're almost to 3 hours here, so GL, you can go ahead and close out if you want. I think
let's find out. I'm trying to copy.
Yeah, once we find out. Yeah, once we find out.
I'm trying to Bing it right now and see what Bing tells me.
1976. So that means the Celtics. What were they seeded that year? They beat the Phoenix Suns. Oh, was it 74 Celtics? Okay. They beat Milwaukee in 7.
Okay, yeah.
So the 74 Celtics beat Milwaukee in 7 in that series. Oh, no, you do mean 76. Okay, so what was 76? Hold on, let me look. 1976 NBA playoffs. Wow. Holy crap. No way. Oh, wait, am I looking at the right thing here? Hold on.
The 68-69 Celtics.
Hold on. I'll get it. 1976 NBA East.
What were the 68-69 Celtics?
What was that?
They were 4 seed. 68-69 Celtics.
68-69 Celtics? They were 4.
Yeah, they were 4.
Yeah. But see,
that's it.
At that time, there was only one series before you went to the finals. So that's why I don't like counting that one.
But that's it. Everything else is 3.
Okay.
And up.
So in 70, well, no, Boston was a 1 seed in 76.
Hold on. It's everything else is 3 and up, Joe.
Hold on. Okay. Yeah, no. BC, what was the other one, man?
No, it's Houston and Boston. That's it. That is it.
Boston Portland in 70 in 69?
69, yes. They were 4. They were 4 seed. Huh. Houston was a 6 seed. Boston was a 4 seed. That's it. Only 2 times in the 78-year history. Portland was a 3. Washington was a 3. The Lakers in 2001 and 2 were 3. Detroit was a 3 in 2003 and 4. San Antonio in 2006-7 was 3. Dallas Mavericks last decade was 3. Milwaukee was a 3 when they won, and Golden State was last time they won was 3.
Okay.
That's it. That's according to FanDuel research.
Lakers need to get the 2, so LeBron needs to get his ass back quick.
There's more on the story there, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, thank you all for letting me finish this thing off. Carrie, it's soap and shampoo time when we get off. Next thing you know, you're gonna start telling me how 2020 didn't count.
You know, what if it's him and the missus doing the shampooing together?
I hope that's that kind of relationship. Good for him.
Yeah, there you go.
70s was a time of debauchery. I don't know necessarily if parody is the right word.
All I remember was Star Wars, really. Some other things too, but I don't remember the
anti-hero movies. You know, The French Connection, The Godfather. Yes. That was the era that that was after the 70s. Yeah, the 70s were the decade of, it was the residual of the true old Hollywood getting phased out in the late 60s. The Xanax and all those guys, they got phased out. The corporations started buying the studios, and then they started making all the movies based off of. See, everyone thinks analytics started 2 years ago, because that's how people get sucked into what they see online, social media, and all this horse shit. Folks, what you think has been going on the last couple of years, you'll find out if you do a little research. Get your head out of your ass. You'll find out that a lot of this stuff has been happening anyways. Did you know fantasy football was going on like in the 60s? Do you all know that? Did you all know that, or did you just think it started 20 years ago? They used to do it longhand style back in the day. They actually did it the normal way.
I was doing it in the 90s, Joe.
There you go. See? I didn't know shit about fantasy football in the 90s. Nothing.
We used to have those big, huge Bibles every summer that would come out. The Becker Street or whatever. Huge, like monstrous books we would have there, and we just have our fantasy football drafts. There you
Carrie, go. Don't tell me I wasn't listening, because I wasn't listening. When I heard James Harden equal to Kobe, my listening stopped.
Gregory Brown.
You lost in a lot of ways. You lost all your LA privileges. You lost all of your Laker privileges at that point. I told you, man. When we get off here, you gotta go wash up. Wash it up. Go repent. Be Catholic for one day. Just go to confession. Sorry, folks, I'm Catholic. That's what we did back in the day. And go talk to the priest and say, even if you're not, just indulge me. Go ask for forgiveness, and then come back. 2016 was more impressive. The comeback, there's no comeback more impressive in basketball than 2016. You don't win series like that usually having to win two road games. So yeah, I would agree. 2016 was the best comeback in NBA history.
Gregory Brown with the nice parting shot of optimism.
Gregory Brown.
Lakers gonna fall to the play-in.
Play-in by time Braun come back. And you know this how? Are you Nostradamus now, Gregory Brown?
Lost. He's talking about all those bad losses we had. So.
Well, you do know that the Lakers weren't really set up to win a championship this year up until Luka got here, right? Huh?
That's another discussion.
Guys.
That's another.
Huh? Man,
They seem to forget life before AD. I mean, life before Luka. Life before
February
Luka.
1, folks. Don't talk about anything before February 1. It doesn't mean anything. I said Kobe was great. I rescinded that comment already. The point is that Kobe is not number 2 through 5. Okay. Yeah, put him at 18. Go ahead. Put him at 18.
Oh, my God.
Go ahead. I know what I watched. I know what I watched.
Let's get out of here because we're gonna be here tomorrow night.
Yeah, he's in the top 25. Go ahead. Do it. There's 24 other players that have been better than Kobe. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
All right. On that note, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Joe Soro. Make sure you go ahead and check out his upcoming channel. Of course, the Joe Soro Experiment. Also, as well.
Thank you, Chris, the art director. That design you sent tonight was fabulous. Love it.
And also, as well, he is Mr. Simblades, SimbladesWithAY.com, if you want to check out his company that he runs and owns. And then also the game that he is helping to make a big deal out of is on Steam, and that is Corrupt, Coreupt, on Steam. But we'll be back. Oh, and don't forget, everyone, if you're into the picks for ESPN Tournament Challenge, we have made a bracket group, so you can see my bracket going up in flames on the first weekend. And you can do that by going ahead and joining today, and the link is in the description below. So, yes, want to go ahead for bragging rights for the Lakers Fast Break. Go ahead and join it today or this weekend before the March Madness begins. All right, but tomorrow it is the Lakers back-to-back in Denver. The fun begins. Been here a while, Hernan.
Why would you want us to stay on?
Of course. Yes.
I think that
if it was 400 people or 4,000 people in the chat, that's a different story. But yes, it's Gerald and Joe's Pizzeria. I don't know if we would never agree on it because he hates Hawaiian pizza, and then of course I said I like.
Well, we could put on the menu Gerald's ass pizza, and that'll be it.
That's right there. Our pizzeria would be closed right there after one day. All right, you guys should be on live. I would watch. Chris, if we could multiply this by 100, you never know. But,
Chris says we should be on 24 hours. I tell you what, maybe in the future we might have an event.
Buy out one of those channels on your smart TV, like the 1038 or whatever.
Can we talk for 24 hours though?
No, you just put us on a loop. We could just throw up all the old shows there, and it just has a Lakers Fast Break channel. It just throws it on a loop, and then every now and then we would throw a live show and all that. So you can do that. We can buy our channel, Joe. Those channels are out.
I don't think an audience wants to see what I do when I'm not on air.
But I'm serious. You could throw a channel. You can buy a channel right now to get you on smart TVs, like most everybody has. One of those off channels that when you come on, everybody goes by.
We got close. We got close, man. What did we go? 9 hours on the day of free agency?
Yeah.
At least I did.
Yeah.
It was good, actually.
You have my blessing, Kevin Durant. Player or not player, you can be a Lakers fan.
No. Don't do that, Durant. Was it Durant? No.
Well, he's a Sacramento Kings fan.
No, Durant, don't do that. Don't do that. Stick with your team, man. Through the bad and the good. I know you haven't had a lot of good, but stay the course. Stay the course.
Again,
I don't know.
always buy a channel.
24 hours. I mean, it would have to be something where there was some serious traction from it, right? Where we were able to get to 10,000, 20,000 subscribers.
Yeah, it has to be worth to us financially, and it's, with all due respect, we got to be doing a lot more than this. As I said earlier, we have to be doing a lot more than this for it to be viable.
What is this glazed stuff? This is not good vocabulary to describe how I speak. I don't glaze.
I think he was saying that you just glossed over what he was saying, 90% of what he was saying. So he does that with me all the time.
Gerald, I was being ironical.
Creating his own dictionary. There you go.
I do have a college education.
There you go. I see it right behind me.
Right
yeah, I see it.
That was on my gown.
Actually legit.
I actually graduated. Thank you.
I trust you. It
was a state college, though. It was a state college. I didn't go to Ivy League school, although I am noticing that Ivy League schools are
mine's not Ivy League.
What we all thought they were.
Mine is based right around your area too. Both of us have San Diego-based colleges.
Good. I'm very excited that that's the case. It was density.
Mm-hmm.
It was density that we came together.
There you go.
Kings play zero defense. At least Lakers play D. Yeah, well, not tonight.
Not tonight. Not tonight.
Talent matters.
Yes. Not tonight. Neither of our teams play defense tonight, but we'll leave it at that. I know we know what you meant, Kari. But it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. Joe Soro and I, Gerald Glassford, thanks again for watching and listening. The Lakers lose 126-106. We'll be back. The game starts at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, so please join us for that. Man, Kari, do you now regret typing in what you typed?
He doesn't regret it. But
hour and a half
one day he will. He doesn't regret it now. He'll regret it later.
Yeah. So Brooke Lopez has a little something left. Yeah, I didn't think. I'm assuming Rob and Magic didn't think that when he left the Lakers, but yeah, the joke is on them. But of course, the Lakers Fast Break tomorrow. It is the Lakers back to back. First of 3 back-to-backs. It is against the Denver Nuggets. Will Luka play? That will really, as I said earlier, that would really piss Joe off because, again, the words out of the locker room, Joe, were, we'll see if Luka plays tomorrow. And I will leave it at that. That is a direct quote, by the way. We'll see. We'll see. Scored 45 points tonight, but we'll see.
All right. We'll be here for it either way. So have a good night, everyone. Thank you for watching, and Kobe for life.
Kobe for life. Go Lakers. And we'll be back tomorrow right here at the Lakers.
Justice for the real Gary.
The Lakers Fast Break Podcast.
That's funny. Keep telling yourself that, Gary. We're on air. Well, actually, I'd still say the same thing I'd say on air as I would in real life, so that doesn't mean anything. Thanks anyways. And Durant, stay with the team, bro. Change your name to Chris Webber, maybe. That might help.
Tough. Luka just said that because they might just hold him out because it's a back to back.
That was fun. We're still on air.